What's going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? I got all my buttons back. Now I just need to make sure all the audio, the volumes of everything is back. The cameras seem okay. We're moving. I see the chat is buzzing over there, but let me get the tunes playing. Let me make sure that's on the right thing. Yep. Okay, I can hear the music, but it looks like you can't. Let's see. Let's change it to this and then to this. All right, looks like on my end everything looks good. I do have some kind of error over here in YouTube Studio. Let me just check that real quick before we get started. You need to change. What does this mean? There's some new window in OBS. By the way, all those problems I had starting, OBS finally had an update, and now there's this new widget that I've never seen before. The current resolution is set to, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected resolution is 1080. Oh, okay. So the widget just can't display 4K. That's okay. I'm just gonna close that down. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having a good night. We are going to check out a new machine by Creality called the CR10 SE. There's so many of these machines. It's mind-boggling. There's just so many machines. It hurts my brain every time I have to say the word. But I want to get to this one because I want to compare the SE, the Ender 3 V3 SE, Ender 3 V3 KE, and then the CR10 SE. Because I want to see what they're all about, because they all bring different things to the table at very compelling price points. But before we get started, there were people in here pre-gaming early on. So let me go down in the chat here and see who we had. We got Tiger Flyer, excuse me, Tiger Flyers first. We got John LaRue, how you doing? Jeff, welcome, sir. Papa's here, looks like he's been chatting it up in here. Eric Galloway. Diana, how you doing? Wilmar, Clement, Blind Gray Wolf made it. JDCCC 26, nice. How you doing? Wish I could retire the CR10. You know, the CR10 was first, right? That came. They came before the Ender. And Moss, how you doing? Hey Jesper, what's going on? Also, I see Green up there. Jeff, thank you so much. Thank you for the 5 gift of subs. Enjoy though to those who get the actual subs. I thought I saw them here briefly, but now I can't scroll past them. But whoever got them, congratulations and welcome. Don't forget, you guys can check out videos before they come out. Whenever I have an edited video prepared, you guys will get at least a full day. Usually it's 2 or 3. And as well as you can message me directly and talk to me as a member, which you know, helps your chances. All right. Hey JP, how you doing? Before we get too deep into it, let me know the audio, both music, if the levels are okay. I know the music is different, whether you have headphones on, you're listening to the speakers on your computer, or even your phone. Sometimes you can drown out my voice, but if I turn it down for one type of device, then you might not be able to hear me at all, or not hear the music at all. So just let me know how everyone is feeling about the current audio scenario before we move forward. While I wait for those comments to come in about how the audio is, it looks like, also, I have a new little setup for my buttons here. So if I'm fumbling through the screens while looking down, it's because I'm trying to get used to these new buttons. But if we go to my browser, which classically does not work, I will change it. Let's go like this, and let's go like this. Here we go. All right, so OBS didn't fix everything. Hey, Andre's here. What's up, man? Mr. Walkman, how you doing? So yeah, okay. So, your audio's a bit low, just me? I mean, it looks like on my end I'm almost peaking. I can turn it up, but I'm probably going to be going in the red otherwise. There you go, I can turn up a bit, looks like. But that's about it. Because when I get excited, I'm just going to be blowing people's ear holes out. Audio's perfect on my end. See, it just depends on what device you're on, unfortunately. And your connection and, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, if it's real bad, let me know and I'll obviously fix it. Because not being able to hear me is probably going to be missing some kind of point somewhere. My Winamp screen's not working, and that's extremely important. We need to have Winamp blast, and here we go. Okay, you should be able to hear me, see me, screen below me, screen right here. This direction is the browser. There is also a pinned comment at the top of chat, giving away a roll of 3D Max PLA Plus. Yeah, all you have to do is go into... Oh, I didn't pull that link up. All right, let me grab that link. You guys should be able to see it. I just don't have it up on my screen. Let's grab it. Copied. Let's go over here. Window. Oh, we're getting dystopian with the tunes. All right, here's what the giveaway is going to look like. You just have to answer a question, be in the United States, and be around till the very end where I choose a winner. Do you think there's still a market for bed slingers? Why or why not? I know this is just kind of a fun conversation. I might or might not read the answers, but your names won't be attached to it, so it's all good. No, don't turn it up. I got my sound at 22%. I've audio streamed directly into my hearing aids. Yeah, see, I don't want to blow his ears out of the water. Let's see, looks like 60 are already in here. Cool. So I had this page brought up. So right now, Creality is having a wild sale. I actually posted on the community tab on my channel earlier today for an insane deal on the Ender 3 SE, Ender 3 V3 SE. I really like the machine. I loved it at $200, but I think it's like $164 after coupons shipped, which is just nuts. My ears are already blown out. He has hearing aids. Oh, his ears are already blown out. Nice, that's even funnier. But getting back to this, so this machine, unlike the SE and the KE, are on a different chassis. They're on a different but new chassis as well. They share some things like the extrusions and things, but this machine is even closer to the KE series of machines. So I want to check this one out, get it unboxed so that I can make a comparison between the KE and the Ender 3 V3 KE and this CR10 SE, because technically speaking, they are very similar and they're going to be very similar in performance. This one is quite a bit more money, and I want to know the reasons why. I think it's pretty clear by just looking at the spec sheet, but looking at it in person, not in this box. I meant like I saw a live stream yesterday. It was a Zombie Hedgehog was doing a live stream, and I was just on YouTube at the moment and hopped on, and he was taking a look at some of the components. And yeah, this one is definitely much more robust than the Ender 3 V3. So I think that the KE is kind of in between, but this is definitely much closer to, and going to be much closer to the performance of the K1, as if the K1 was not enclosed, if that makes sense. So that's why I think it's important to check it out. I want to know where all those machines stand. There's a million of these machines. I know people are going to be searching for them. I know there's going to be confusion why they all exist. So I want them all unboxed so that I can help people out and explain it. I like the dual roller hanger. Yeah, I wish there was more to it, but it's just to have 2 rolls up there. It's just storage. I remember on my original Ender, I actually did that. There was like an adapter you put on one side so that you can have 2. But looks like they did that stock, so that's cool. I think that's meant to be an Ender in an office or laboratory. Right, so I actually asked about that. I asked why this is a CR10, and they said because this is aimed at the more premium market. The CR10 has always gone after slightly more commercial, slightly more premium, slightly more prosumer than the Ender series. The Ender series is meant to get you into 3D printing, which it did for me, and I know it has for many other people. So this is not meant to be your first machine necessarily, although I don't see a reason why I can't, especially because it's going to be so automated. But it is definitely targeted at people that have experience. And one of the reasons why I asked that question for the giveaway is because I think this might be kind of like the craziest bed slinger, right? The only thing that I don't see on the machine is the fan ducts, the auxiliary fans, but I know that Creality has those. You can purchase them. They're very inexpensive too. So I might see if I can get my hands on them to put that on there. Because if this is going to be an unenclosed machine for PLA, then auxiliary fans are probably going to be a really good addition, kind of like what Elegoo does with their Neptune 4 machines. So hey Taijin, how you doing? David Pulliam, what's up? Just got an Anycubic Cobra 2 Max in the door. Nice, it's a big boy, huh? Cool. Yeah, just a couple other random things before we get rolling here. I'm really excited about this thing. You'll see a short tomorrow morning. I printed, should I do this camera? Yeah, let's do this camera. I printed this in carbon fiber PLA on the Trident, and the quality just, hold on, let me turn this off before I press every button. It has, the design on this thing is so cool. It's, you can reach in everywhere to turn things off and on. You can put your finger into sections to remove the actual keyboard if you need. It holds your cables to charge them. You can run both the chargers at the same time out the bottom there. Just a really cool design. And I use my MacBook a lot, especially for video editing, and that's why I have this. I use traditional mice to play games and use other platforms, but when I'm on this and I need side-to-side scrolling, I definitely love this Magic Pad. And this makes it feel like I'm on my MacBook, except I am, you know, at the computer. So I put some rubber legs on there. I just thought this thing was so neat, and a really cool print on the machine in 3D Max carbon fiber PLA. Look at that. So that machine is finally tuned, and I'm super happy with it. And you get that lovely texture. It almost feels like denim. That's like the best way I could describe it. But just wanted to show this cool print. But like I said, there's a short of this thing coming tomorrow morning probably. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight this design because I thought it was neat that they thought about all these little instances of, you know, like turning these on and off, you know, things like that. Anyway, that's one. The two, hold on, let me make sure I have my keyboard and everything back. Come on, there we go. Huge printer, yeah, I bet it is, man. That thing is pretty big. Hey, Truggy, how you doing? The other thing that you guys see is this. Been working on this. That is, can I pull this back on? That is a new top hat for the Trident because of the new wiring that I have there. I didn't want it to scrub against just the glass, so I printed that in transparent black ABS. and it doesn't fit quite perfectly. That's why I haven't showed it off at all. But I've been printing a bunch. I've been doing a whole bunch of projects everywhere, getting closer. Actually, only a couple pieces away from the trailer build for my RC trucks. And then the next video that's probably coming is my desk that I ended up redoing. So I ended up, actually, you guys might have saw the what's it called? The short where I can now press a button and have my desk lower. You can go pretty low. And one of the cool parts about it, like for unboxing, for example, makes it much easier. But then if I wanted to send you guys to the moon, I can. Oh, hold on, the camera's not following me. Here we go. Oh yeah. See ya. And then one of the other uses outside of just working on stuff is this is gonna make for some cool shots if I have to do some B-roll for certain things, because I'll be able to use my slider on it while moving the table as well. So it just opens up more doors for doing more fun stuff. So, and then you have a little controller, and we should be going back to my standing desk size, which is fantastic. Only downside now of this is I can't have stuff underneath the table. Like that's where that lived. So that's kind of a bummer. Otherwise, pretty cool. The most important thing is playing with it. That's what she said. Yeah. Also, I saw you guys were pre-gaming here earlier, so I had to catch up. So this is gonna be a wild stream towards then. Oh, a straw. Are you using a belt drive or gear drive on your crawler, and which model crawler did you build? Both. I have the, hold on, so they're called different things, right? I have the Bamboo, which is the FJ40, the Toyota. That's called the Bamboo 4x4, I think. That one is belt drive. And I also did an open differential in the front. And then I have the longer Landy, the full wagon Landy 4x4, the giant D90, but I guess it's called the Defender D110, right? That is full lock, that has the wider axles, it's lifted, I have a bunch of mods to it. That one is geared, so I have both. The geared one's much more capable because it has just a lower ratio than the belted one, even though the belted car has a larger motor than it's supposed to have and a different gear ratio because I modded it because I can't leave anything alone. But I feel like the older one is slightly more capable, whereas the belted one is more reliable. So it's one of those. Giddy up. Yeah, soon we'll get this started. Whatever happened to the ultimate Aquila build? Volvo guy, first of all, I haven't forgotten about your enclosure. It just, you know what happened? Crazy machines started coming out, and it made that machine obsolete instantaneously. Super fun. I still have it, by the way. It's in storage, but I can see it in the corner of my eye almost every day. It's still over there. I still had a ton of components for it. And the real answer is I found this one incredible mod by this company, and they were almost done this crazy modification that was going to transform that machine. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I kind of waited for them, and it never came out. And by the time it never came out, Core XY started happening, fast printing started happening, and I can't call that the ultimate Aquila machine being so big and slow and lumbering. So my plans kind of fell apart for the machine. That's just the honest answer. I still have it. I would still love to find some use case for it. And I am currently pondering of different ways to turn Aquilas into other stuff. I just don't know how many build series I'll be able to do with, and hold people's interests. But I know a bunch of my subscribers have Aquilas still look to modify them. Not everyone needs a brand new shiny Core XY machine. I totally understand that. One of the ideas, for example, is to turn an old unused Aquila into a PC case, like an open air PC case. So I might still do that. The other one was to make an elongated bed out of 2 beds together so you can print really long stuff. There's a bunch of, it's kind of endless because of their platform, but it's just endless. There's too many things started happening, and I had to just kind of set it aside for now. That's what I thought. Yeah, it just is what it is. I got an S1 with a Sonic pad, so yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, that's great. That's enough to tinker all day long and still be able to produce awesome prints. All right, we're here for the CR10, right? One of the things I wanted to pull up here in this view is the store. If you type in the code BFCM5, I also included a link down below. So yeah, click the link. That'll take you to the Creality store, and then add whatever the code is. I wrote it down there. It'll give you an extra $5 off. So this is $316 at the moment. So the closest other printer is the Ender 3 SE KE, which is $280, but that machine is pre-order. So I want to know why this machine is $316 compared to the $280. That's the goal. Is this the other printer I should consider? Yeah, this would make an amazing first machine. I mean, it just depends on like what you want to do. This is kind of like the best of this kind of machine, but because it's running Clipper, they call it Creality OS. I would say that this one is going to be slightly more advanced. Even though the way that they made it and designed it is really easy to get into and get started, when something goes wrong, and you know it will, that's why I said when, this one will be harder to mess with than the other one, the really inexpensive Ender 3 V3 SE. That's why I like to recommend it. I think it's like kind of like just a basic machine that can do it, and it's still printing and doing really well, and the price is just $164 is just insanity to me. That's like $100 cheaper than what my original one cost. Hey Luke, how you doing, buddy? It's going great. This is gonna be a cool machine, I have a feeling. Creality's being bad with Clipper. They are. I messaged them again today about opening this machine up because it's using Clipper, but they call it Creality OS. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling they're going to... There was an update today, by the way. I have a feeling they're going to do it. I have a feeling they're going to open it up just like they did with the K series, and I don't remember what the exact reason was, but they had a questionably valid reason for delaying giving us root access. They waited until all of the things that they wanted to fix were fixed. So, you know, it is what it is. These machines are made in China. They have different laws than here. It's kind of just like a moral thing. You know, but it's definitely running Clipper, that's for sure. So, like I said, I'm fighting it. I fight it all the time, you know. I don't care if they get mad at me and never send me another machine. I just think that everyone should play fair, and I strongly believe in open source 3D printers, because that's how I started. I know a lot of people are passionately into it. It's their entire living. And I think that if they use any open source stuff, they should do it. They should honor it. All right, let's do this. I'm going to lower this a bit here, and I'm going to raise this camera. Oops. There we go. Let's do that. Let's lower it, and let's see what we got in this box. Also, I have the... Right here is the KE, so we can compare it a little bit closer once this thing is out of the box. So that's what we will do. LiDAR isn't available. Yes, LiDAR is still not available in Clipper. At least they haven't released that portion. So we got the lovely sticker pack, like all their machines now come with. We have a little filament sample. You know, Creality, I think pretty much every single person that unboxes mentions this. This is cool, thank you, but it would be nice to have even a mini spool of this. This is just not enough to do anything meaningful with. Yes, you can see if your printer is extruding, but besides that, this almost ends up being waste. So I think a larger spool, Creality, for anyone, if this is your first machine or 12th machine, a spool of filament or a mini spool of filament will go a long way as a gesture. I see the screen, so much like the SE, this screen should technically be the Nebula pad. This port is an external vibration components. Look at how they wrote that. Can you guys see that? Vibrat ion. component. Compensation port. So this looks like is for a USB-C ADXL. But this is a Nebula pad, so this should be running a bunch of hardware on it, which I always thought was kind of neat. At least provide 500 gram spools. Yes, yes, this is the way. This is the way. I think one roll that they sample would be cheaper than multiple different types. Yeah. All right, let's see. Well, look at this wrench we got going on here. Have to build a toolbox with this bad boy. 10 mil, 12 mil? Look at that. USB. Does this not say anything on it at all? Wow. Okay, that's fun. A completely unmarked. Okay, another thing. Creality. You can't do this, guys. I don't know how many people are gonna... Okay, so it says at least 16 gigs on here, but that's it. You might want to put something on here. This is super sketchy. I know it came in a printer, but like... super sketchy. I don't know if I'm gonna rush out to put that into my computer, you know? We have some hardware. Little tools here. Are they... Okay, so they're not... they're just flat heads there. They're not... what are they called? The swivel. Words just escaped me. Would you recommend FlashForge Adventure 5M or the 5M Pro? I just need a printer to be reliable, and I was wondering one is bigger build plate than another. No, user 28981. They're the same exact machine, except one is enclosed and has other features that revolve around the enclosure, like a filtration system. And all those fancy words just mean that if you're going to print other things outside of PLA, TPU, and PETG, it might be in your best interest to spend the extra money to get the 5M Pro. But if you don't think you're going to get there, and technically if it's your first machine, second machine, you're probably not going to get there for a while, realistically speaking, then you're definitely just well off with the 5M. My 5M's still killing it over here. Great machine, perfect for beginners. Yeah, it's still good. It's still good. It's just Core XY, which means if something goes wrong, because it's an inexpensive machine, it'll be harder to work on yourself. So that's why I always recommend an Ender style machine like the Ender 3 V3 SE to beginners first. I just think it's a little bit easier to work with. I just pinched myself pretty hard, but we got some snips as per usual. We have a declogging device like these. It's a good one. In fact, nah, that's fine. We have a cable, power cable. Nah, sketchy, doesn't begin to describe their SD cards. Yeah, like it would be nice to have some writing on there, you know? So with the, hey, Ballistic, how you doing, man? So with the CR printer in this size, what is the CR series about now? The way that it's been pitched is the CR series is geared more towards professionals or the pro consumers, whereas the Ender line is geared towards beginners. So this is our dual filament holder and filament sensor. There's a huge community around the Ender 3 style printers for aid. Yes, yeah, there's millions and millions of them, and lots of things you can do or not do. So yes, I totally agree with that. What is this fun looking thing over here? Also, I can't lower this down. Let me just cut this so you guys can get a better view. I would recommend getting an enclosed printer if you want to use it for making functional heavy duty parts. Yes. Essentially printing, well, that's not true, by the way, because you can print functional parts all day long and heavy duty parts in PETG and PLA on an open machine. But if you need them to be hot or UV resistant, now we're talking about printing harder materials like ABS or ASA. Those I've also printed for many years on open machines. Yes, it would be better in an enclosed machine. So you're not necessarily wrong, but you can get by. So no more Ender Pro then. I get confused with the Creality's catalog. I think everyone is confused with the Creality catalog, even them. Did you ever get a chance to try putting the Ender 3 KE screen on the SE? I did, and you cannot run it because of the firmware not being available yet. So when the Nebula pad is out, we will get a series of firmwares to be able to install onto the machine itself, and then it will be available. Oh, okay, I was wondering what this piece of plastic was. This is the LED bar, which is definitely a nice little addition. Something I remember adding to my Ender and just absolutely loving that mod. Is that everything? I think that's everything for the top shelf here. All right, now we got the machine. I see a nice PEI sheet. Oh, I was wrong about the extrusions. These are the 2020 extrusions, like normal 2020 extrusions. I'll show that off in a second. I thought they were going to be the new ones, the triangular kind. All right, good foam, lots of it. Everything's protected in here. Oh, nice base. Okay, more foam. We got more foam. Oh yeah, lots of foam. Foam. There's foam here. Let's get this foam out. Foam and foam. All right, is that everything? That's everything. It's heavy. It's heavier than I thought. So that's a thing right off the bat. This base is heavier than the entire KE, I think. Let's throw this in there. Let's get this out. Throw that over there. That over there. All right, let's get this rested. Let's do the base stuff first, and then we'll look at this. Set you down right there. All right, I guess we can bring this down a bit. Get you a little closer now. Watching live from Bangkok, Thailand. Nice. That's cool. F1. LED RGB for the K1 is coming. Yeah, I mean, you could always unplug their LED and put in your own strip, by the way. There's so much happening with the K series. Lots and lots of modifications. Also picked up a K Friday. Nice. I drove 3 hours to the nearest Micro Center. Yes, that's the way. That's the way to do it. It's such a good deal. You'll love that machine. What a tiny build plate. So linear rails on the X and Y on this one, opposed to rods on the Y and the 3. Yes, so it's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because there's more to that. And I will show you in a second. Let me lower this down here. Take a look at this. So this was the part that I caught on the stream yesterday, on Zombie Hedgehog stream. Look at this rail. You guys see this? This is a single rail. 0. Man, my battery's dying in here. That is 24 millimeters. Is that even right? That is a 24 millimeter wide rail. So yeah, so remember when I was freaking out about the double rods on the Ender machines? This has a monstrous rail that I've never seen before on anything else. It also doesn't have end stops. It uses all sensorless homing, like the K1. A lot of this, like I said, is going to be from the K1. Looks like the bed is from the K1. The way that it mounts is from the K1. Check out this strain relief back here. Look at the strain relief. So definitely significantly more robust than the Enders. Okay, this was a bad idea. As opposed to... This thing's plugged in too. Can I put this in the shot? Look at the strain relief on the bed back here where I move it. That's the classic Ender style. Also, this bed is just so smooth. Like, they did kill it with the bearings on that Y. They just glide like nothing is there. But this rail, that's something else. So, yeah, that's a big rail, yes. MGN 15, is that what it's called when it's 24 millimeters? However, some people have nothing to get on the end of 3 SC rods, but are a bit loud. Yes, they are louder than wheels, yeah. Hey, BW, how you doing? Absolutely love it. I have 203 V3 SEs and the K1. Nice. You can't blame me. You can't blame me for this. Also, I'll take the blame. It's all good. 1 inch in Yankee Doodle measurements. Audio went low? Oh. Let's see what I can do here. Did my mic get unplugged? Oh, it did. I unplugged my mic. Hello. That should be loud again. Yeah, I pulled it out, looks like. Yeah, I have the DJI mic in my pocket with a wire running to a lavalier mic over here. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate that. And sorry, your microphone popped off. Print's done. Nice. Come back better. Mic unplugged. Hey, Swamper, how you doing? Yeah, thank you. I usually keep the chat up so I can like keep up as I scroll through it. So I didn't see it. Hey, Hex3, nice, thank you. Appreciate that. Alright, let's keep going. As per usual, I'm going to flip the bed. Also, I just noticed on it, because of this symbol, this is their new symbol for where I guess the print head is going to figure out the automatic Z offset. They put it on their build plates. So it looks like unlike the KE or the K1s, I guess, not the entire build plate is going to have a, what's it called, sensor element under it. I did also just notice that it is insulated underneath. So yeah, already a lot of changes in comparison to the other units here. The other thing I wanted to see is the size of the stepper, because I know the gear is different on the KE, but this stepper motor itself is large. It's slightly larger than the typical motor. Obviously the base here has a drawer, unlike the other Creality machine. And you know what we should do? We should take it apart, because that's how we do things. Let's see what this thing is set to. The power supply is set to 230. So let me go ahead and undo the sticker back here. There we go. Cool sticker. You know what? I'll put it back actually. Let me get a little flathead. 43 viewers and 21 likes. What's up with that? What's up with that, y'all? Let's change that to 110. Boom. Okay, and I'll put the sticker back. I kind of like it. Oh, I just noticed another little Easter egg is the gearing is the same as on the KE model. If you guys notice that big gear right there on the Y. So a bigger stepper motor and also a larger gear. So this thing is geared right out of the box to go fast, which is cool. Let's get the Hodo. Looks like they packed a lot of stability into the base. Yeah, so I did notice there's more stuff in here. Hold on, I'll show you. What ate the print volume? The print volume on this, I'm assuming that's what you're asking, is pretty standard ender size. That's why there's so much confusion about this machine specifically, because it's an ender, but they called it a CR because I guess they packed this one in. Rocket surgery. Yep. You know, these companies gotta love sending me a machine, expecting me to show it off, how easy it is to set up and work with and use. And I get the machine and I instantly rip it apart. I always wondered why some companies don't get back to me. But I think the more I think about it, the easier it is to understand why some companies just don't want to deal with this type of thing. But you know what? This stuff needs to be shown. This is the stuff that you don't need to be doing. Not everyone wants to take apart something and then try to put it back. This is just what I've been doing my whole life. Why not use that skill? You know? All right, let's see. So fan is on this side. I'm gonna unplug it. Of course, it tries to come off with the entire plug. That's not a big deal. All right, so 24-volt fan, 60. So one of those little thin ones, 6010, 6020. It says 6024, but that seems pretty thin. That's okay. That's not a bad fan. Any glue on the Mobo? I will show it all. That's how we learn, that's right. Yeah, when you put it back together and there's 10 screws still left. Married to a surgeon, it's not hard. Rocket surgery is very hard. I'll be okay if they start doing it like the Ender 3 Pro and those Pro features get applied to the CR printers. Yeah, I mean, it's all blurred. It's all blurred, and I honestly don't know where they're going with it. Clearly, they have an entire plan. It's not like they're doing this blind. It's got to be one of the biggest companies in 3D printing, easily, right? So they got to have some kind of advisors. Mic dropped off? Oh, is this the previous? You might be not currently live. I found it eventually, Alt. But thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so in here, here's what they did with the chassis. I'm going to lift the camera up. Just bear with me for just a second, and I'm going to tilt it down so you guys get a nice overview here. This way. Here we go. Okay. So, okay, we have Creality power supply. For better or for worse, it's their own brand at this point. They have enough experience to make these themselves. And you know what? I've never had a Creality power supply go bad. Just being honest. So nothing wrong there. We got ferrules on that side. We got glue on every connector I see so far. We do have an extra connector here, and it's called Y. That's weird. I'm also asking why. There's an extra connector here. Obviously, it doesn't matter what it is, but it is what it is. The board, let's see if it says something on it specifically. It says CR and then a huge number. CR4NS, blah, 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 blah. But it is reminiscent of what the newer Creality boards look like in the K machines. But there's not much here. And if you take a look a little bit closer, these heat sinks, they're the 3-steppers, right? Not 4-steppers like a traditional machine. There's 3, and that's because there's another board in the tool head, which we'll take a look at. So this is its own little computer. Then the tool head itself, where the extruder is and the hot end is another little computer that talks with this via USB. And then also the brains are inside of the screen, because this is what's running, I guess, the Nebula pad, the actual OS. So this is going to be powering the mechanics of the machine. This is going to be telling what all those things to do, and then the tool head board is going to be telling the hot end what to do, the fans what to do, and the extruder what to do. So we used to have just one board with a bunch of wires that does everything, and now they're able to split these tasks up, which means they're just way more powerful and way smarter when you can separate all these things and delegate little things to, you know, to certain situations. So it's pretty cool. She's got a big bed. Yeah, but looks like wire management is incorporated into the plastics of the machine. So these are like little things that I pay attention to. Like this was so extra, they didn't have to do that. They could have just zip tied it, and I like it. That's another reason why I find it easier to cover these machines. There's been so many Ender style machines over the years, they're like sickening. But I feel like with this latest push Creality's making, they're actually bringing a bunch of new stuff to the table, and I'm here for it. The other thing you might notice is they have a metal frame. Even though they're not extrusions, it looks like this is just a, what's it called? Not poured. What's the term here? Stamped. It looks like this is just a stamped frame that the metal rail for the bed just, attaches to, and what we're going to be attaching the upper gantry to. Pretty cool in here. Yeah, nothing to complain about whatsoever. There's glue on every connector. There's ferrules on every connector that has to deal with power. There's even one of these magnets that you guys told me about. Forgot what they're called, but it's wrapped around for the power and ground. This is good. There's glue on everything. There's zip ties on top of this. This is what I like to see underneath here. This is good stuff. Good job, Creality. I actually see a little bit of dust as well around the fans, which is also a good sign. That means this machine was tested, which is also good. We want that kind of stuff. We want to see that this was bench tested before it was shipped out to us. And as far as I know, this is not a special machine at all. Usually they tell me right away. This is a regular machine that you guys will be getting as well if you order one of these, which I always prefer, just so you guys know. Diecast, thank you. Yeah, Hypermotive, thanks, I appreciate it. Sometimes these words just slip out of my head, Ferrite, yeah. How solid does it look with all the plastic? Super solid. This is really thick plastic. It's also very heavy. So I am not mad about it. I am not mad about it. God, I forget how much power this thing has. I gotta turn it down. The Hodo is too powerful. So this is actually an Ender with CR naming convention and not the CR sizing, but the Ender sizing with the parts for the K machines. You got it. You just nailed it. It doesn't seem confusing at all. There it is. There's the explanation. Yep. Yep. We got some foam falling out of the crevices here. All right, so now that we got this out of the way, I guess we don't need to take that off yet, but I guess I'll take off some of these parts in case when we put the gantry on, if they get in the way here. What is this little guy? What's this little guy? Look at this. It's like a little jumper. I guess we will find out. Oh, it jumps from this little mini board over here. There's a little board where you plug things in. So it looks like this is a Z motor. Yeah. So that's just a little plug, and this is going to go into the motor. That's neat. That's pretty cool. So this has an expansion interface and filament detection. Oh, I can't lower the camera anymore. Oh, you know what I can do? I can bring the machine up so you guys can see that little board. I've seen this on other machines as well, so it's not new. But it's definitely a good way to do this to minimize wiring sticking out of everywhere. Hey, Gryfang, how you doing? Looks like my Neptune 4, yeah. Probably pretty similar to the Neptune series. It reminds me of the little cables from where we got used TL smoothers. Oh, TL smoothers! Yeah, I remember TL smoothers. All right, let's throw this on there, and then we'll take a look at it with it installed. So to get... Oh, you guys can't see it anymore. All right, give me 1 second. Can I balance that without it falling? Let's try. Stay. Stay, printer. All right, here we go. I don't know how that's balancing on there right now. It's like some crazy Houdini trick. So to install, this, you know, you would have gotten it out of the box and not done any of the stuff that I just did. You got to keep that in mind, that you would be at this step if you were to get this. So how many, what are we, like an hour in, more? Yeah, more than now. 2 hours? No, an hour. 50 minutes? I got some glue left over from that tape. But you just kind of put that in there, and it's in this little slot. We got some things to plug in here, and this, let's move that tape so that the stepper does not cover that. There we go. All right, and what we need now is something I should have done earlier, is gotten these hardwares out so we can install this. And the way I like to do it is I move the machine just slightly off the table like this, and then typically these go from the bottom, and there is a space for them. So let's throw one in here as much as I can by hand. There we go. Let's get the other one in there. TL smoother? Oh, it's a whole thing, man. I'm not even going to be able to explain it. Essentially, it's something that you could put, here I'm explaining it. It's this little, oh, there we go. Flyback diodes. He even knows the name. Circuits to try to smooth the motor movements. Yeah, I was going to say they go between the MCU or the driver and the motor itself. And they kind of smooth out the signals there. I said it like I'm a 5-year-old. Little piece that smooths things out. It's called a TL smoother. What model Hodo screwdriver to use? So I use two. This I believe is called the 3.6 cordless. Swamper, there are two of these, two different models, and I highly suggest you get this one. It comes in a circular tube and not the flat one. It comes in this. And this one has 3 power modes. And is really, really powerful. And the other benefit is it has a lot of battery. I actually tried to see how many printers I can assemble with this. I've assembled 5 different machines plus an entire Trident. Well, 4 machines, an entire Voron Trident on a single charge with this thing. So highly suggest one of these things, even though they're not necessarily the cheapest piece of toolkit that you can have. All right, now I can crank it up. Yeah. Tons of torque. All right, since this side is in, we're gonna plug in the stepper plug, and then there's 2 other plugs here, and it looks like there's no other place that they can be plugged in except for the openings. So 3 things plugged in, very simple. Now let's rotate the machine. Make sure this plug does not get caught. I hang it off the edge again. What's my edge again? No, wrong song? Okay. Okay. 1 and... So yeah, I remember we used to have to put together printers from just a bunch of parts in boxes, and it took hours and hours and manuals, and now I just put in 4 screws and plugged in parts that you can't like plug in a wrong spot. So that's mostly done. Now we can go to this portion of the build. Actually, you know what, let's finish the whole bottom first, which means I just have to attach the screen, and it's also labeled everywhere. The screen, let's plug this in. Also, I don't see a separate ADXL. I have a feeling that it's in the tool head here, so I want to check that out as well. So that's what we will be doing. How many screws do we need? 3. That must be this one. I don't know. I will find out in a second. So it looks like not only does the Z-axis have 2 separate stepper motors, but it also has a belt on top of that. So that's nice little security there. All right, Let me get my little extension on this thing. Let me put this in the trash. For those that are just joining, on top of the chat, there is a giveaway for a roll of filament by 3D Max if you're in the United States and you plan on sticking around till the end of the stream. More than welcome to enter. Just answer a simple question, and you can pick a roll of filament from them if you win. All right, so I'm gonna have to move this to the edge again because I can't get down low enough flat like that. Nice. Okay, one more. Might not be able to reach it with this. I did. All right, so, and left that in the bolt. Come on out of there. There we go. So it looks like they give you an extra bolt for everything. So we got 2 of the extras so far, so that's fun. Gotta love extra printer hardware. Let me catch up with the chat real quick because I haven't been on here in a while. Sold, nice. Also, there's a 5% off coupon down below, Swamper, if you plan on using their actual website. Which always check because most of the time they like double with savings on top. Oh, it's like a silent board with better drivers instead. It doesn't matter if they're silent or not, but it tries to just smooth out the signals that are being sent. Let's see. Frodo's having a back in my day moment. I have those more and more for sure. Both ways uphill in the snow. Nice. I love assembling 3D printers. Me too. Definitely one of the most fun. Sometimes I have more fun assembling them than using them, which is crazy. So I've been literally printing anytime I'm not on camera or taking a video. I've been trying to do some kind of 3D print project. I don't necessarily record them all. Sometimes they're gifts, but I've been definitely trying to print more than I have in the past, and I've been definitely enjoying it, especially when it's like on a custom machine that for some reason does some weird thing for me, like an accomplishment, you know. Hey, Anthony Greco, how you doing? Just ordered the Hodo screwdriver, Amazon, 30% coupon, total cost $38. Perfect. That's unbelievable because it was like 60 something when I was getting it. Did you show the inside of the head? No. I wanted to do the bottom up. I have the CR10 SE. I noticed with the steel nozzle, I need to print 10 to 20 C more. That's pretty normal. Then the temp range on my filament. I like printing PETG at 250 with a base speed at Creality print at 120. That's super fast for PETG. Like super fast. But yeah, that seems normal. About 10 to 20 C higher on the steel nozzle is about right. That's okay. Also, every printer is slightly different. Every filament roll on that printer is slightly different. The humidity in your room, the ambient temperature, all that matters. So you might, you know, tuning the printer to the specific filament of what you're printing on at that time is more important than using the general guidelines, right? So if that temperature is working and it's printing great PETG, it doesn't matter. 3D Max has the 5 kilogram. Yes. Lauren. Yes, they do. It's bigger than this printer. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I have a project coming up soon that's going to entail actually using that, which is going to be very fun. Who does that? Barely running any cooling for this 9-hour print. Nice. Hey, Mr. Ed, haven't seen you in here in a minute. How you been? Cedric, what's up? What's up? What size bed? Standard Ender size bed. Not CR size, Ender size. How do you even mount that spool? You don't. You need to have a standalone mount. Definitely. I have 4 Hodo screwdrivers at work, 4 tiny precision ones, a lot of computer cases. Yes, so by the way, I do have this one, which is admittedly very expensive, but, and there's also different versions of this little guy. But this one specifically that charges through this case is amazing. It's way more powerful than other ones that I've tried in this size, including the other Hodo ones that I have broken. This one seems to be by far the best one, and I love the little things like magnetization over here, so you can quickly magnetize any of the tips or demagnetize them if you don't want to pick stuff up. They have tweezers, they have every kind of spudger imaginable. It's just a great to have kit if you do anything with electronics. It's just expensive, and that's a huge turnoff for it. I get it, but it's premium. It's super premium. Oh, hey, Wilmar, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, and congratulations to the 5 people that join our little exclusive gang. I appreciate that. Thank you. Flash Forge Adventure 5 Pro or Creality K1? K1 for the price. K1 for the price. Also, I will always choose the K1 until the Adventure releases their firmware. They're using Clipper and not mentioning it anywhere and not admitting to it and holding it hostage. And that's the major con that I had for the machine when testing it. Creality embraced that the community wants the open source firmware. They gave us root access. We can do whatever we want in there. Giant aftermarket for the machines. Type in K1 and on printables and see everything that you can do to the machines now. The whole thing's open source. The Adventure, that's the big downside. If you don't care about that, if you don't care about open source firmware, it's pretty good, but you can't beat the Creality K1's price right now during all these sales. So K1. Okay, let's get back to this. Did I plug in the screen? Yes, so the screen's all good. I'm just gonna peel that gently. Let's put that back. All right, so the bottom is ready. What I'm gonna do for safety, while we mess with everything above, I'm gonna flip the bed. I know it's not supposed to be like that, but while we're taking things apart, that's what I wanna do. Should we just assemble the rest of the machine? Now, let's take a look at it. So the way we can lower this is by taking the belt and moving it. There we go, because you can't just take the rod and move it. Let me get you guys in closer. Looks like I moved this a little too low for the current camera setting, so let me bring it up there, right here. Also, very nice smooth movement on this rail here. That's an MGM12, so that's good. I do see a Sprite extruder here. What is this? Oh, this is like the cable holder that goes somewhere over here. Does it click on? Oh, yeah. Okay, that clicks on right here. Cool. Also, the cable that's typically running to these things is a, well, we have one right over here. See that cable? That thick cable that goes to the tool head? That's like your standard cabling on the other Creality machines. This one uses USB. I think this is actually USB and a, what's it called? CAN bus type of situation. And it plugs in like this, and looks like there's strain relief that's very nicely molded in. Wow, that's actually a very cool design. Let me show you. Look at that strain relief right there. Boom. That's cool. I saw that they have an update that just came out today where they give you a little printable clip that goes on top of here. Just to hold it in a little bit better. That's also very nice. And then the rest of this cable, which is very small here, can go right here. There's even a picture. See this picture where it goes? It just tells you that it plugs into that clip. Very nice. And then this cable is going to plug into the motor right here. Let's get that done so it's out of the way. There we go. Plug that back in. Very nice and clean. Looks like some of these rollers need a little bit of adjustment. I can move them, but I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, let's see what's underneath of this lovely cover. I did see that they released the cover as well. Oh, that's a star bit. They released the cover as well, which is cool. That means they're confident enough for us to see all that stuff. Oh, I knew the chat wasn't working. Sorry guys, that's another glitch with OBS. I have to open this browser window for the chat to come in, and now they're flying in, so I'll catch up with everybody in a second. Let's see. Oh man, okay, missed a bunch. They purdy though. Very nice. Everyone picked up memberships. Yes, yes, thank you once again. I'm waiting for the 5 kilogram dry box series to take off. Can you imagine? Everyone just has like bunkers in their house. Hey Zumi, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Best filament dryer to put on a holiday wish list. Oh man. So, you're not gonna like this answer. Actually, you know what? I prefer, out of the several that I have, I always have preferred the Sunlu S2, whatever the single one is. The problem I had with it is the little feet on the bottom are kind of annoying. But their latest S4, the one that holds 4, I have it off screen there, it's kind of like behind the shelf, is amazing. I love it. I love just how capable it is. I love that it has the dual zones. I love that you can print out of it. It makes it feel like you have this like expensive device that you can like use, and I just really like it. So I like the Sunlu dryers. This one right here, the fixed dry dual dryer, is also very nice. I just haven't had a chance to really use it because I have that large one, and how many of these do I have? I have what, 4 of them sitting around, so you know what I mean. Interesting Z, yes. Belted Z is nice, yes it is. Toys for Tots, yes. Does the CR10 SE have Clipper on it? Yes. So every time I say the word Clipper, they correct me with Creality OS, but we all know Creality OS is Clipper. They don't necessarily hide it. I just don't understand why they don't open it when they release these things. So at some point we will have full access. We'll be able to install Fluid, all those things, Camp, all the fun stuff will be had with this machine. Just don't know when. And like I said, I'm constantly fighting for it. I would think that the CR10 SE is an Ender 3 S1 Pro with a fixed bed, linear rails, fan upgrade, strain gauge, CR Touch, Creality OS. It is the same board essentially. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Anthony. I mean, you have one, so you probably know a little bit more. I have a feeling they stripped a bit more from the K1 series because they want to make less stuff, right? So the less products that they make, the better. I'm assuming, but you could be right. I don't know the exact numbers on the boards. Did you have good prices right now? I just could justify that before the bamboo. Yeah, the prices are outrageous right now. Prices are just crazy. That's a thick cable. Yeah. Also, if you do the calibration, check the Creality print web interface and view your bed net bed mesh. I had to add a washer to the left side to reduce the difference since it was slanted bad. Nice, that's a good pro tip right there. Zoomy. I think the S4 has been sold out everywhere I checked. I believe it. I believe it. I believe that. Yeah, so the S2 is pretty good. If you want more than one, check out the fixed dry. The filament's also really good. Like they have legit good filament. I've been pressing Creality to get, yeah, me too. Every chance that I've had any kind of conversation with them, I've mentioned it. Sometimes I message some of the reps out of the blue. I'm definitely annoying them. Definitely. Like they're fully aware of how annoying I am. Sorry, but I have to go. Hey, no issues. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Mika. 1 week to go. Is it really 1 week? That's how fast everything's going? What's camp at Fluid? There are diseases that are curable now. No, so camp with a K, it's adaptive purging and meshing. And the best way to say it is, let's say you want to print something on a machine like this with auto bed leveling. It's going to go and put points on the bed and make a mesh on it, an imaginary mesh, so that it can always print at the perfect level. But the beds are larger, even though this isn't necessarily a big bed. But let's say you wanted to print something small. Instead of waiting before every print for it to do the entire bed, what Camp does, the adaptive purging and meshing, is it calculates where the print is and only meshes in that tiny space. So if you were to print like a little piece that's going to take 10 minutes, you don't want to spend 10 minutes meshing. It'll just do that one part and then go. So if there's ever a clipper machine, I always install camp on it, and a lot of companies like Chitty are already installing it, on there because it's just such a time saver. As far as Fluid is concerned, Fluid is a front-end interface, so all these things sit online with this firmware called Clipper, and Fluid is something you can basically type in an IP address on your computer, and it'll pull up an interface so that you can control the machine from your computer. You don't actually have to do anything weird over here. It also lets you, send files wirelessly, so there's no SD cards, none of that stuff. And there's lots and lots of things you can do and calibrate, and you have full control over your machine with Fluid. So that's kind of what we're fighting for, Andre. We're fighting for access to be able to install Fluid on these machines so that we can have full access of our tools. Like, we buy this tool, we want to use it all the way. Hey, Mike. We got Mike and Hunt. I'm such a child. Hey, Hunt05, how you doing? What was I doing? Right, I was taking things apart so I could show it to you. All right, here we go. We'll use this. Let's get out our other Hodo, and let's send it. Okay, that fell and gone forever. No, I found it. Here we go. All right, so the cover is just 3 on the side. Very small little screws. Kind of surprising, to be honest. Like how they even bite through. I don't know. They're tiny. Like, you guys see that? My fingertips like too big. All right, so that should be it for the cover. Very nice. And we have a fan. And I bet you they glued these connectors. They did. Let's see if I can still wiggle it. Okay, I can. And okay. So here's the cover. Looks like it's a smaller 40mm fan and not the slightly larger 50mm fan, but that's okay. Pretty standard fare for the duct. Nothing crazy, but it's pretty direct. So having this fan blow directly here is pretty good. I actually thought that this would have had the same type of fan as the K1. Why go smaller? I'm not sure. But these are definitely better than 4010s or 4015s. Whatever that might be. Let me make sure my chat is still functioning. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have a Sprite extruder. Great extruder, nothing wrong with it. They are tried and true at this point. Yep, nice and smooth. We have a little pancake motor, not the round kind, the square kind, that's okay. We have the classic CR Touch on the side, which is actually a decent sight to be seen. And then on the bottom here, we have the same hot end as the K series. So we're gonna have a ceramic block here. Let's see if I can get to it. These silicone socks are notoriously harder to take off, but they definitely cover a whole lot, so it makes sense. Let's see if I can take this off to show to you guys without damaging anything. Come on down. Let's see, can I grab it from both sides? No, doesn't want to come down. I do see a brass nozzle. I think I just poked a hole in the silicone sock trying to get it off. There we go. Okay. That's permanently on my finger now. Yep, so we have the updated hot end, which is good. They had a revision. Yep, so this, as you can see, this little, this piece right here is a ceramic heater, which means this thing heats extremely fast, for those that don't know. Oh, it's a bimetal heat break. I mean, a bimetal nozzle. Yeah, that's cool. Let me see. Do I have enough light on here to see? Yeah, so that is actually a bimetal nozzle on here. The tip of it is steel and the rest is copper. That's best of both worlds. I didn't know they had that on there. That's cool. Let's throw that back on. Definitely pleasant to see. It's all cooled by this little fan right off to the side. Let me show you this board that's on the side here. So this board, this little sister board. Yep, so we have an 80XL. Yep, ADXL right over here. I can't see what's on that chip, but this is essentially also running some version of Clipper on it. Yeah, not much expansion as far as I can see. We do have a camera expansion right over here, so they will have an AI camera that you can install onto this that will monitor your prints and tell you when things go wrong, which is nice. But we don't have that right away, and I actually asked them to send me one, and they accidentally sent me the wrong one. But actually, it might be worth trying to see if the K1 camera will work. I wonder if it will. Let me see if the plug is the same, because that would be fun. Oh, right. Automatically it won't be because the cable is different on these things. Right, there's no cable. That's correct. Okay. So yeah, they accidentally sent me the wrong one, and I will eventually get the correct one so I can show it to you guys. But that time will not be today. So there's some expansion with the camera, otherwise pretty standard affair, and actually really good stuff under here. There's nothing here that I'm upset about at all. The only thing that's iffy is the same as on the K1, is the connectors are the tiny ones that are harder to deal with. So if you were in here trying to tweak some stuff, it is just slightly more annoying than regular because the connectors are very small. But I have a feeling you'll just be buying a replacement for Creality for any of this stuff if you need. Let's see. Ceramic heaters are also safer. Yeah, they cool faster. Yeah. Is there a dedicated stepper driver on there? There should be. There should be, because there's only 3 steppers on the board. So one of those was a stepper, but it looks like without a heatsink. There should be. Yeah, and there literally has to be, because there's only 3 on the bottom. Okay, and that should be it for that. What is this plug? That's probably for the LED, and this plug is probably for the filament sensor. So let's get that going so we can start a print on this bad boy. LED bars next. Let's see how this adds on. I bet it just clips. No, so that actually has hardware that it needs. That's this right here. I do actually really like the addition of the light bar. It makes it feel premium. So there's a running can out of the box. I can't tell. Oh, I just saw this little tiny on-off switch. I'll show you in a second. I can't tell. I can't tell because this plug is proprietary looking. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 10 wires. So can is 4, right? And how many is USB? I have a feeling that's USB and can in one. But then again, that doesn't, why would they have both, right? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. All right, let's plug this little cable in. That's nice. Let me see if I can turn this thing around and show you. Look at this cute little on-off switch. It's tiny. So the LED bar is not a smart LED bar. Like, it's not going to be controlled through Clipper. It's just a regular old on-off switch style. Oh, that's a horrible sticker. Let's put that back. I'll have to clean that up later. That sticker peeled so badly. It peeled in pieces. We'll deal with that later. All right, so let's put on our filament spool holder here. Which way is it gonna go? Forward? It's this way. Nope. Is it this way? Okay, it goes this way. And this comes out here? All right, let's figure this out. Down like this? Oh, okay. Well, that's easier than I expected. You just You just ever so gently push down. I thought it was more complicated than that. All right, let's plug in this sensor. Am I doing something wrong here? The sensor doesn't seem right. Not enough wire for it. Yeah, something's not okay here. Hold on. Can I pull this out some more or no? No. Can I move this? No. This wire, this little guy, seems like I should have more of it. Maybe this goes on this side? No. Does it go on this side? No. Am I gonna have to consult a manual? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this will not reach in any way with this wire plugged in. All right, let's see what the manual says about that. You might need shortening the plastic wire cover. I had to cut it. Oh, okay, so that's what it seems like. That cover that's on there, that's a protective cover for the wire, seems a little bit too long. Let's see what they say right here. So, yep, it faces the back of the machine. Connect filament line, okay. So nothing specific there, which means we have to take matters into our own hands because we are professionals. And that's what professionals do with the CR series. USB 3 is 8 and USB-C is 24 max. Huh. Do the LED bars come with it? Yes, the LED bar does come with this. Everything you see here comes with this. I'm not adding anything more. If it's just a breakout, 1 wire for ground, 4 for stepper, 2 for thermistor, 1 for heater, 1 for EF, PCF, and 3 for the probe. That sound right? 11 wires? Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 10 wires on this. So maybe just a standard board. Hey Darren, how you doing? Feeling good, feeling good. Okay, so I have to pop this off. Let's see if I can just grab it. And I'm gonna snip it halfway. There we go, pop it back, and now I have way more wire. That goes in the trash. Sometimes we overthink things. Sometimes we should just not. All right, so let's find the middle, somewhere here. Is it really this easy? You just pop it down like that? Oh gosh, that's hard. Okay, that's on there, and now this has all of the movement that it needs to have. Okay, I feel better about that. Let's put the rolls on. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that should be it. The machine is done. So just to recap, if you were to buy this and didn't take everything apart to take a look at it, you would take the 3 pieces out of the box, the screen, the bottom, the base plate, and the gantry. You would attach the screen, you would put the gantry on top, 2 bolts from the bottom on each side, then the spool holder, the bar, plug in the wires that are there and labeled, and they can't like go into different plugs. Like the plugs are only shaped in a certain way. I don't know. I don't think this type of printer can get much easier unless they come in a giant monster box. All right, how's that view, everybody? Let's take a closer look here. So as far as the wiring goes, is there a better way to hide this somewhere? Not really. This is nice and clean. I really like that. Single cable. The bed nice and clean, no nonsense. Super smooth, nothing protruding anywhere. There's a big old power button on the side. A nice little drawer to put all of your goodies, your tools, obviously. We can flip our bed back. And the rest should just be taken care of on the printer. I did notice one other thing. So these wheels, actually, let me grab the wrench. Those wheels should not be spinning free like that. And the way you adjust them is with this wrench here. You used to have to do this everywhere on all parts of the machine, so just having these is not bad. So each set of wheels, always on most 3D printers like this, has 3 wheels, and each set has one that has an eccentric nut. In this case, this wrench can only go on one, and that is right here in this case. The other ones have no place I can fit this. And when you turn it one way, it's going to move the wheel slightly. So in this case, I can fully spin it over here, and what I want to do is keep turning it until it just has some, you know, retention on this extrusion. So I'll just keep turning. There we go. I can no longer turn it. I'm going to turn it back some, because you do not want to over-tighten this. There we go. I can still spin it if I really wanted to, but that's about it. That's where I want it. Same with this one. Turn it. We'll keep turning it until it has some tension. There we go. There. So now what we'll do is I'll move it to the bottom, and I'll check it there as well, because this is how we make sure that the printer is square. Oh yeah, perfect tension. So that's all it needed. A tiny adjustment, takes minutes. It takes seconds to do with the tool that's in there. Very easy. Stanley Cubic, can you root this one? Not yet. I think we will shortly, but unfortunately not yet. I really want to root it. So it's definitely one of my goals. Looks easy enough? Yes. Keyed connectors, thank you. Brian, you are invaluable in terms of your source of knowledge, sir. How much is it selling for? On their website right now, I had a cart somewhere. So if you click the link down below to get to the store and put in the code that I have outlined there, $316. So, I mean, you're going to be hard-pressed installing all of these things on a basic machine. This thing has everything that you might need, and it runs Clipper. So, let's see. I ran my LED wire over the bearing holder. You can hide it better, though. I believe in you. Let's see. Yeah, over would be better. You're right. Yeah, I did go under for some reason. Well, it's just the way that they were hanging here. I didn't put any thought into it, is what I meant to say. Yeah, through here is a little bit better. But yeah, this should probably be tucked away a little bit more. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it right now, but we'll mess with that a little later. Their canvas PCB similar to that breakout with a stepper and all the rest. That's some sort of can on that head. I forgot about the ADXL. There aren't enough wires. Yeah, there's definitely an ADXL in there. There's got to be. Although we're going to find out in a second, right? Okay, so I think we have everything else in place. I think we're just going to go full send. I did prepare a cable that I routed through my desk, but it looks like the power cable's as far on this corner as possible. All right, we're moving. We're moving in. Okay, we are plugged. I'm gonna try to move it back some. Our LED lamp is on. I guess the power switch was on. No problems there. All right, like I said, just off the screen, I have the KE model, just so I can compare the two. So far, I don't really think there's much to compare. I think the KE is kind of like a hopped up Ender 3 V3 SE, and this is like a maxed out bed slinger. All right, so let's get you guys closer to the screen. Let's see how close I can get without dropping this thing. Nope. Also, I am extremely parched. Very nice. Ooh, that's good. You need one of those extension cord reels for that bench. Oh yeah, like the hanging kind? Yeah. So I did place, I drilled a hole through the table and put a grommet through it. And I ran a power strip that's dedicated for just printers. But this table's so big that running the cable right to the bottom and all the way over here is not big enough apparently. All right, let's go English. Hopefully it's not English. Thank you for choosing Creality. You're welcome. And I have read all of these things. Didn't Creality tease Core XZ bedslinger? They did. So the Ender 3 V3, without any of the letters, is a Core XZ bedslinger. But it's still in early form, and they're still working on it because I continuously ask about it. Oh yeah, okay. Let me hop on the Totally Not Spyware. Let's see. Also, you can totally use this in networking mode. It's not in QWERTY mode. It's just letters scattered all over the place. And it's extremely difficult to type. Like, just because finding the letters is like a little game. Alright, we're on 95. Alright, let me try that. Okay, so let me get the browser going. 168 whoops, 192.168, and I instantly forgot what it was. 95. 95. This should pull up Creality OS on the browser. It does. So Andre, I remember you asked earlier about Fluid. This is their own version of Fluid called Creality Print. And this thing is really stripped down, like severely stripped down for the everyday Joe type of scenario. And this is where you're going to see a camera feed if you have a camera plugged in. You'll see your print when it's going. You can move the machine around. You can preheat it, things like that. You'll see your file list here. So it's a very basic version of what Fluid is and does, but it's their own. I'm considering CAN for my 2.4 to see how it works. Mike, I just did this whole thing with my Trident, except I didn't use CAN exactly. I used the USB on an EBB36 little board. So I used USB-C plus 24 volt and ground, so just the 3 wires. And I absolutely love it. It's been just an absolute game changer how many wires I removed from that machine. I highly, highly suggest it. And the reason why I didn't go with using CAN is because with CAN you need an additional board. You either need a CAN board to install, or you need to have a motherboard that includes the CAN connector in it already. So for me, I just run a USB-C directly to the Pi, and it's game on from there. So Feder, I downloaded the firmware for one of the Creality machines and ripped it apart. Okay. What do you mean? Give me more. I found all the stolen property. They know. I don't need to drop them a note. I've almost exhausted this. Is it the Dvorak? I don't remember what it's called, but it's not even an alphabetical. It was just everywhere. Nice Winamp. That's right. That's right. A Monster 8 has CAN board. Oh, you're set. Yeah. Then don't worry about anything I just said. Is adding a camera plug and play? I don't know about this machine. There's 2 USB ports. I will find out though, because I have one here always. So once I get through these settings, I'll find out. They have their own AI camera though, Andre. Like specifically for this machine, it like installs somewhere on the side, and it's meant to like actually be useful. Whereas a camera, yeah, you get to see stuff, but the AI camera and the K1's a really good camera. So I'm hoping it's from there. Which one of these do we need? 5 Eastern? Also, responsive screen. Bind? No, I'm not binding this. Skip. Definitely not putting any of my Creality machines on Creality Cloud. No thanks. Printer self-check. Welcome to the self-test process. Please place the printing platform. The self-test process is expected to take around 11 minutes. Start detecting. So I know there's an update, an over-the-air update that's coming on this machine. So we're gonna have to unfortunately do this twice. But it's probably important to be on the latest firmware, right? Just worth mentioning again, there's a pinned comment at the top of the chat. If you guys are going to stick around to the end of the stream, I will be picking a winner for a roll of PLA Plus from 3D Max. So definitely jump into that link and fill out the questions so that you guys can have a chance to win. You have to be in the United States and you have to be present. So it looks like according to our screen here, it is heating the bed to 60. So it's probably going to do Auto Z and all that fun stuff with the bed. No camera support yet. I asked Zora from Creality during stream. The software engineer is present. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Whenever you ask Zora, she always asks the engineer if they're around. Please place the printing platform. If they added a BRUD, then that would work. And like I said, there's no, it's homing right now, but there's no sensors anywhere, so it's using sensorless homing on everything. And we got a BL Touch that just came down, and as you can see, the head is offset because the BL Touch is actually in the middle of the plate right now. All right, so nozzle heating, heat bed heating, now it's doing, oh, okay, yep, now it's doing auto bed leveling, and then it's gonna do the optimization of vibration vanes, which is amazing. My vibration vanes are tingling right now just thinking about it. S4 Kickstarter delivery is January, nice. Man, optimization of vibration vanes. Creality, message me. I will gladly help you guys translate some of the stuff a little bit better. Run it by me. Like I used to tell VoxLab all the time. I will do it. So as you can see, it's kind of dragging along the side in that little area. And that's how these machines... Oh, that's a cooling fan. That's how those machines do automatic Z leveling. Fedor bringing jokes. What's in the mug? The mug. I did load up my mug today. Because YouTube, I can't really talk about it. Yeah, like I said, I saw that you guys were in here early. Some of you guys were in like an hour early. So I was like, all right, I need to pregame myself. Cheers. Andre, did you catch this print? This carbon fiber thingamabob that I printed? I love that thing. I'll have to show it to you later in all of its brilliance. So when it does do slow moves, I do hear the slight ringing of the CR Touch because, you know, it has that metal probe. It's been doing that for years and looks like they still haven't necessarily figured that out. Yeah, strain gauge and CR Touch run in tandem. You'll see load cells under the bed. Yep, that's what I expected. And I expect this to be completely, fully automatic experience. No knobs anywhere to adjust, nothing. So I'm going to call this the Cartesian K1 because that's what this is. Yeah, it might be a thing I'll need to print. Yep, you won't be able to, well, you'll be able to print it in pieces on something like this. I had to print it on my Voron, the larger 300 by 300 machine. But you know, I can also print stuff for you. So there you go. It's doing our bed leveling, and it's, the movement is quick. pretty excited about this this machine actually. I think this machine is going to prove a lot of people wrong on what a current bed slinger is, because I know for a lot of people they have become kind of stagnant. You know, they've had them for ages. Core XY is fast and shiny and new and fun, but not a lot of people tinker. Not a lot of people are willing to go inside the machine to work on it if something's wrong. You know, Core XY machines are still pretty new to the consumer market. Wait till all those belts start popping, and you got to reroute belts on a machine that's proprietary. I think we're gonna have piles and piles of machines laying around very soon. But something like this, you can very easily modify and upgrade and maintain. Hey, the Print House, how you doing, man? Big fan. Ender 3 V3 KE in the mail. Nice. So I have the KE right off screen right over here. And actually, if you look just past there, I have the SE. So I wanted to unbox this thing and get it out so that I could compare the three machines and kind of showcase to people what they're all about. And I think you have the other two machines, correct? Because the KE is pretty neat. It's a nice, interesting in between. Feather, did you see the Deltesian at Earth? I did. I took some video of it. Wow, the Sonic Pad really sped the S1 up. Yes, yeah, the Sonic Pad does do well with other Creality machines. The CR10 SE has bad mini details that are patterned. It needs resonance compensation. It doesn't have resonance compensation? I see it's doing it right now. Yeah, it's doing it right now. Also, they had an update come out today. I haven't done it yet because I just did the unboxing, but there was some update with a rather long list of things. I don't have the SE. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did a video on the SE. I think it's probably the easiest recommendation for a first machine that I've had in a long time. Especially in the past year, that has kind of been blurred. But that machine, especially right now, it's $164. I just made a post in the community post. $164 shipped, bar none, easiest machine. You plug it in and you drag a file into the slicer and you hit print and it just works. Yeah, that's a solid machine. I think you'll really like the KE because the KE is like a hopped up version of the SE. It has it on the X and not Y. Oh, so it does one of those things kind of like the King Rune machines where is it going to do it on the Y and then use the head also to calculate where it doesn't like work that well? Hey, Andre, how you doing? I'm mind blown with the prices of Creality bed slingers now. It's insane. You don't have to tell me twice, man. I was looking through that list of all the coupons and whatnot, and I'm just like, you know, I don't really feed into the hype like a lot of the other folks do, because my entire feed is, you know, everyone in 3D printing, and everyone's kind of making these posts, and I didn't really bat an eye until I saw that list and saw the prices. I'm like, no wonder everyone's posting these ridiculous prices. It's just an insane time to be in 3D printing. Y belt looks small against the rail. Yeah, this rail is incredible. Like, I want this. I want this rail. So what is it doing right now? I know I shouldn't necessarily be touching it, but I guess it's calculating. Because it did the X. Okay, so you are 100% right. Not that I didn't believe you, but it does not do the compensation on the Y, which is interesting. That's interesting. So King Rune did this thing where even though they don't have the sensor in the plate, I mean in the bed, they do the compensation anyway using the ADXL on here. So there is you know, motion still being transferred into this ADXL from that vibration, and they still manage to get some level of input shaping with it. So I wonder when this is rooted, that's going to be something that we can easily add ourselves. But I wonder if that's something we can kind of push, you know, push towards with them. Wasn't there a Core XY machine that applied the same input shaper values? Yeah, it's the K1 series. Both the K1 and the K1 Max, they do it on both, but it only takes one calculation and puts it on both. So I did a video on how to fix that. You essentially just change a few settings within Clipper, and that allows you to have two separate settings. And I can't imagine why, outside of just saving some time. I don't know why they do that. I just got my K1 a few hours ago. I will say that it's fast. Yeah, that's quite the sales. I don't want one, but I had to buy one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if you just got one, once you get a little bit more acquainted to it, I did a video on how to root it and how to install a bunch of fun stuff like Camp that I went over a little earlier, and a bunch of other little things like full camera control, so you can actually tweak what the camera looks like. Like in my setup, it's a little bit too dark, and you can actually tweak it. So things like that, they're all outlined in that video, and also how to fix the input shaper. People are hot on attacking Creality right now, I know, but there's haters all the time. But they really are doing a good job with the products. I can speak to the customer service. Yeah, I think I agree. I mentioned earlier in the stream that I think this wave of these recent machines, even though the naming convention is just garbage, I do think that they're onto something with these machines. And in my personal opinion, these are probably the most special these machines have been in a long, long time. You know, I've skipped generations of Enders because they were never that great, never big of a jump. I do think that these are that. They're a big jump. Yo, I haven't actually seen that Y compensation based on the printhead of an 80XL. Yeah, I think like I said, King Rune does it with their smaller, the little cantilever machines with clipper on it. That's how they do it. I plan to do it for sure. Nice. I hate the naming, so confusing. Yeah, it's definitely confusing. All right, so this should be good. Let's see what we got. All right, and we are ready to go. So, I'm surprised it didn't reboot. So this is essentially what the Nebula pad is going to look like. Let's see just quickly what we got. So we got movement, we got heating, we got how to extrude. I actually really like this on the K1 machines. This makes filament swaps so easy. Also, LED light. Yeah, nice. Cooling. Model fan. Why is the fan going 100% right away? I wonder if this has the same problem that the K1, I mean not K1, the King Rune KP3S Pro V2 had, where at 1%, that's running 100. I have a feeling this is the same thing. So this is another one of those things where the clipper settings are set up a little bit wrong. Sometimes it's the actual hardware of the fan, but at 1% it's running at 100. I actually recall this problem with the King Rune machines. The reason why it's a problem is if you're printing ABS, for example, and some overhang needs like 10% fan or 20% fan, it's gonna blow 100. This is fixable. Hopefully they fix it and don't expect us to do it. No content, local. I wonder if I put that USB drive away, didn't I? I wonder if the USB drive, where did I put the USB drive? Hello? USB, oh, here we go. I wonder if there's stuff on the USB drive. Their naming reminds me of Apple with their phones, right? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, Creality is pushing a lot more printers to the market. The CR10 SE is confusing to me because it's under 3 size, right? By the way, if you remove the mount for that CR10 SE pad, it literally is the Nebula pad, right? So that's I found that out with the KE. I first got the KE at ERF, so I had it really early. I guess months before you could even pre-order it. Not months, like a month before you could pre-order it. So I had a lot of time to play with it, and I tried to do all sorts of stuff with the Nebula pad, but it's the like a early model, and you can't use it until we have firmware, you know, to modify. But yeah, it is literally a Nebula pad, which is cool. Those machines should be named Ender 3 S1 Pro KE. That's too much, man. That's too much. Looks like I missed a bunch, but I'm here now. Hey, Caleb, how you doing? It's all right. The machine's together now. This is an important part. New to the group. Hey, how you doing? Real Spirit. I pre-ordered the KE. At what speed do you need to look at high-speed filament, or is that a money grab? I've had flawless prints back-to-back with high-speed filament and not. Maybe I'm not printing fast enough. but I haven't noticed a true obvious, you know, difference. I mean, they're clearly optimizing it to handle cooling better. So I'm sure there's some measurable, you know, thing, but without some kind of device, I can't say for sure. But I've been testing a bunch of high speed filament, and it's not necessarily noticeable. But if if I'm planning on printing fast, I will try to grab high speed. It just seems more, you know, like you should probably use it type of deal. But I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to see a visual difference. My rep told me you're the first one with the KE, and I'm the only person with the KE. Nice. That's awesome. I'm not sure how true that is or isn't. I think that's pretty true. So I only got it because I live really close to the event, and they had the machine at the event. So instead of putting it back and shipping everything, I warehoused their entire booth essentially in my garage for the event because they had to ship it too early, and the event couldn't handle it. Couldn't hold that stuff for them. So instead of shipping it back to China, they're like, hey, you could hold on to this and, you know, review it. So lucky because I got to help them with their event. I put everything up, helped put it up, break it down, drove people around, that whole ordeal. So that's how I got my hands on it. Just realize if you take the spool holder and display off, then you can't print the CR10 SE Cobra Max. Then you can't print the CR10 SE. Oh, then you can print it. Yeah, the Max is huge, man. USB drive has a 20-minute benchy, filament guide, and scraper. Nice. Let's check it out. Do I put this into the screen? I guess so, right? I like that the screen dims. I've had more of an issue with wet filament than high speed. Yes, fact. Nice. That's why I featured you on the Creality channel. Yeah. So so for their separate Creality event, this one, I was actually like a guest speaker, so I got to talk in front of everybody on the stage about open source firmware. So not only did I help them with the main event, I also helped with the event afterwards. It was actually really fun. Didn't know what to expect, but I had a lot of fun. USB drive. Whoa. That's a funky looking satellite dish. All right, so we're definitely gonna do a benchy. This says 14 minutes, guys. 14 minutes? Put the big spool, the 5 kilogram spool. Is there a video on this? Which one, the KE? I haven't done a video on the KE. I did a live stream on the KE. So that's the goal of this. I needed to unbox this to have this out so that I can make a direct comparison between this and the KE, because on paper they're extremely similar, but the KE is cheaper. And now that I see them like this, I understand why they're cheaper. The KE is cheaper, like it is. No, you helping them? So they were supposed to have an entire live stream of the second event. Yes, they have it on video, but they did not release any of it. And none of me speaking. So they also were here at the studio. They did a full interview. We talked a lot about their machines, feedback, some of the stuff here, and they featured me on the channel very briefly with me stuttering and some video of my truck driving, my RC truck, one of these. So yeah, there's a whole lot more to it, but I think because the event got delayed, they're not going to release that live footage, unfortunately, because there were some really cool topics. What does the show for your net bed mesh? Any slant? Okay, let's see. I might have to refresh this page for it to show up. Holy moly. It's actually not that bad. What's the variance? Man, I hate how they do this. Just give me access. I want to know. 0.5? 1, -2. So 0.5 millimeter difference? That's okay. That's not bad. You know, it's a visual representation. That doesn't mean it's that slanted, obviously. I already put the CR10 SE in storage. The Y linear rails also. Is the Y linear rails also? The Y is dual rails on the KE. The SE is a giant monster of a linear rail that I've never seen before. It's 24 millimeters wide. You guys see, can you see it past the belt? Look at that. That thing is huge. It's thicker than anything. Feder, you can't have your thumb on the front of the bed while leveling. Well, yeah, it's not leveling. It's okay. The KE is dual rods. Yes. Yep, rear. And super smooth. Like amongst the smoothest bed motions that I've seen on any printer. Can you tell? Like, I had 1.3 millimeter variants. Went down to 0.8 variants with washers and bed. Yeah, 1.3 is a little much. 0.5 I'm not mad at. On my Trident, I set it to 0.5 variants on the Z-Tilt. So in my opinion, that's pretty good. All right, let's get some filament in here and let's do a benchy. I guess since it's Creality, we should use Creality filament. Admittedly, this filament has been sitting out for like a week. But it would be in everyone else's house too, so it should be okay. Oh, you know what we should do? Let's, is this all open? Yeah, let's move this up. And I'm just gonna throw some filament in here and then we will load it in properly. Let's go to, also, you know, like I said, there is a firmware update on this machine that came out today. I'm gonna do it later just because, and also, maybe the camera does work on the latest, but that's something that we'll have to find out later. Yeah, all this AI detection, all this stuff will only work with their camera. Calibration. I forgot what I was even talking about because I just got so distracted. Oh, loading. Right, loading. Let's do that. Loading. We don't need 240. 220 will be fine. Oh, it goes by length, or I can switch length. Let's do 10. Can I do more? Oh, yeah. Let's do 50 millimeters extrude. This is nice. I really like that. I don't remember what I was talking about, but that's okay. You guys can ask a question. I'll talk about it then. That's the first thing I noticed with the KE. It is insane. I wonder if it will stay that way after 1,000 hours. Yeah, that's actually a good question. I don't know. But they did a really good job with those bearings. But does that still use leveling screws? No leveling screws. This should be a no fiddling machine. Did you just shove filament in? Yeah, so there is, oh, sorry, you can't see. Yeah, so there's this knob. I just essentially you push this thing and you just put it in until it can't go anymore. And then this thing is gonna do the rest. The screen, I told the screen to extrude and there it goes. It heated itself and now it's extruding. And I told it 50 millimeters. You don't have to, you can just click it and it does it for you. I got two V3 SEs at different times with bent bed frames. Did the KE come up with the same issue? No. I've used both machines. I didn't notice any bed frame bending. No. That doesn't sound very good. You had two separate ones at two different times and both of them had bent frames. I don't like the sound of that. I'm sorry to hear it. 3D and T printing. How you doing, by the way? Didn't get a chance to say hi. All right, so looks like we're extruding perfect. Nice and straight. Nice little coil on there. So let's just go ahead and let's send it. I'm gonna do this 14-minute benchy. I like the little preview. I'm gonna let it do the calibration. It's asking, also, I don't know why it's not. It's trying to, there we go. So you can skip calibration or not, and I like that it gives you a couple little things like 3.2 meters of filament, 14 minutes. That's going to do it at 220 degrees, 60 on the bed. Calibration, and let's hit print. just pooped a bit. Yeah, they all poop. Some more than others. All this color AMS machines with color management systems, they poop a lot. In fact, if you do a large enough print, well, you don't even have to do a large print. If it has more color swaps in it, most of those color changing machines poop more than the actual print is. It has a guide rail for X gantry. If you bend that, it's game over. Huh. My KE is on other. Shipping day to Australia is 20th. Expected delivery 26th. So as you guys can see, I didn't do anything. Yes, I did have to tweak those wheels. That's pretty standard procedure. I don't expect every machine to have that problem. I do really like the way that Creality does this. I have a feeling this is going to be copied by a lot of other manufacturers. I think the Adventure 4 does something really similar to this, actually. But yeah, I like the way that I like the way that it turns the fans on to cool it so that there's no oozing when it does all these calibrations. I think that some of the stuff that's coded in is very smart. Obviously, they've taken a lot of it from other things, from other machines, like do-it-yourself machines, like rat rigs and Vorons that run Clipper. But still, got to give credit where credit's due. I think they optimize these things very well. Some poop the bed. Is it camera angle or X is tilted down on the screen side? It's camera angle. This thing is leaning. Oops. No, it's pretty straight. The problem is that this camera, if you can look at this screen, it's on this tripod, and I kind of have to tilt it down. It's also an extremely wide angle lens, because so this one, the one that follows me, has a gimbal on it. This one is actually also meant to follow, but I have it off. So it's just an extremely wide angle lens. I need Creality to open up the nebula pad for fluid. I've already tried this conversation on pretty much every single time I ever talk to them. So I'm hoping that they do it. I think they will. Honestly, I think they will, and I'm only saying that because of the way that they did the K1 and then the K1 was received. I've never pooped the bed. You know what, Zumi? Never say never. Because we start pooping the bed, and then we end pooping the bed. So, you can't say it. Also, don't sleep on an LED bar on the CR10. My favorite feature. Oh yeah, no, this is fantastic. I love LEDs. If you look at that Trident, I have it all set up with LEDs all over the place. My my little V0 here has LED bars ready to be put in, and also LEDs on the hot end itself. So I'm definitely of the LED gang. I'm getting close to the possibilities there. See? If pooping the bed is cool, call me Miles Davis. Nice. There's some LED light bar covers to block out light from blinding you. Does this blind you? Seems pretty good. So Andre, just because you asked about camp, you see how we're printing a benchy, which is a small boat that's going to be in the center of the bed. But this is leveling the entire bed, and it's taken this entire time. So even though the benchy is supposed to be 14 minutes, it's obviously taking longer because it has to level the entire bed for that perfect print. So what camp would do is it would calculate only the area right here for the benchy, and like I said, just do that part, and this part wouldn't be necessary. Do you have Discord? Yes. Never mind, found it. Awesome. Yeah, find me on there, find us on there. We're doing Toys for Tots. There's only a week left for that. Last year we printed 1,200 toys. Hopefully we're going to crush that this year. 3D Max, my filament sponsor for this live stream, has also sponsored that. And we are going to be giving away 60 spools of filament. 60. So join in on the fun, and obviously very fun to, you know, be able to donate some toys for those in need. So it's a win-win for everyone, and you get to print some fun stuff. Let's see, what's the machine doing now? Do we have a clue? Oh, okay, it's actually going for it. So we're doing a purge on the left side. Once again, not adaptive purge. It'll always purge there, even if it needs that spot. Oh my lord! I didn't expect it to go K1 speeds, guys. Well, all right. To be 100% honest, I had no idea it was gonna go to the moon. Okay. It's a 14-minute benchy, right? Getting close to 200 toys. Wow, nice one, Jeff. That's amazing. US only, yes, I think so. I think it's gonna have to be US only if it's not already US only. I'm leaning toward getting this one, unless you really think I should be getting the other one. It's all a money thing, dude. It's all a money thing. If you have over $300 to get this, the current sales for this machine right here is also the same, and this is a better machine. It's also a single button, like very similar to this, except zero assembly required, even though it's just a couple screws here. I just don't think you need to spend that amount of money on a first machine, because you might not even like it. Yeah, it's exciting at first, but then you realize there's drawbacks to 3D printing too, like upkeep and maintenance and stuff. So it's not for everybody. So if you're just experimenting, you don't necessarily need to spend a bunch of money. Like I think that at the end of the day, you will be just as happy with either one. I just like how significantly inexpensive that machine is, and it reminds me of my original, and maybe that's some weird bias I have. But this is in an interesting spot. $316 is pretty good, especially because I do think this is probably going to be one of the best bed slingers around, especially once you add fans onto the side, because the Creality has a fan upgrade for this. I mean, this thing is fast. This is faster than the KE. It's probably twice as fast. So I'm not surprised that you'd want this instead. Are those 60 spools? 65 kilogram spools. Could you imagine? This one is 316 at the moment. If you click the link down below and type in the code that I pasted in there for you, it takes it down to 316. Stock PLA base speeds from Creality shows 300. Nice. Actually, does this show us the current speed? It might not, because they limit this thing so much. Yeah, they don't show you the current speed. Yeah, nope. This has an LED light button. Can I turn it off there? Nope. Wonder why they did that. Sounds like a good first impression. Yeah, you know, printers are getting better and better, right? First impressions are going to be positive. I have this feedback from some viewers that I'm overly positive about all these machines. They've gotten so good. It's pretty rare to get a non-positive machine, you know, experience printing PLA out of the box. The differentiator is everyday use. We have to nitpick. That's why when I spend the time with the machine, I try to give the cons first, because the cons list is getting smaller and smaller with all these machines. So far, this is awesome. I do like the build. I like the spec sheet. I like that. I know the future of this thing is probably going to be, you know, us getting full access to Clipper. And I'm going to keep demanding it until we get it. And if that's the case, this has total, you know, send this thing to the moon vibes. Look how steady this thing is. It's a brick house. The K1's $499 and the CR10 SE is $459. Like what? No, the CR10 SE is $316. So if you click the link down below, I also have a code for an additional 5% off. It's $316. Actually, I have it on the screen right here. Right here. $316 is the final cost, and that's shipped. That's with free shipping. Print house. So the prices are insane. Oops, you don't want to see this. There you go. Creality A10, go burr. K1 369. Micro Center right now. Yep. If you have a Micro Center, don't forget not everyone has a Micro Center. I'm lucky that we have 2, but not everybody. At that price, there's zero argument. There's zero argument. At 350, I think it's even cheaper than 369. I think it's like 350. At 350, K1 all day. Stop messing around. Just go get a K1. Andre, this goes for you as well. Like if you, I don't know your budget level for this, right? If 164 sounds like it's too good of a thing to pass up, I say the SE 164 done. You can always resell it later, and you can always just keep it and buy another one. If you have $400 to spend, and that's like cool, that's not like a thing you're even worried about really. K1, get the Creality K1, easy. It'll last longer because it's enclosed. I've only gotten the 12 minute one to work once on my Neptune, and it wasn't pretty. I believe that. We'll see what the actual time is on this. I think the fastest one I've done is 14 on my Chitty Tech, and it was near perfect. So I could probably go faster. I know they had a 12-minute ABS benchy, but I never actually printed one. Remember when we were in awe the first 14 minutes? Yeah, definitely. I'm still in awe. 14 minutes for a benchy is incredible, considering not too long ago I would spend 2.5 hours on a benchy. Yeah, under an hour. Yeah, under an hour is insanity. It was this very recently. That keyboard and trackpad holder looks so cool. Do you have an STL for that? It's on Thingiverse. I don't remember the exact model. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, I mean, I just love it. I love the fact that it holds the cables for both. I love that I can run both at the same time. The design is brilliant. The one thing about it is they have other models that are like multi-pieces. You have to print this on a 300 by 300 machine at least. That's its only downside, really. But yeah, I love the fact that it has holes for the power, even the trackpad back there. I just think the design is brilliant. And I put some rubber feet on there, and it's just awesome. The Kila X2 was 140 on Amazon the other day. I almost bought a third. Hard to pass up, tried and true, right? I'm just pulling the same interface from the K1 prior to an open up clipper. Yep, yes it is. That's Creality print. Prior to rooting. You know what I can try? So there used to be a way to root the K1 before they officially rooted it. I also did a video on that a while ago. I wonder if the similar brute force method will work. I'll try it. It'll be cool if we can make that happen. Well, that's Black Friday prices though, right? It is. But that's crazy. I agree. Shipping is quick too. Nice. Do you think the KE will have access to full clipper like the K1? Yes, I do. I'm literally going to continue pressing them on an every other day basis until it happens. I think Creality will have an AMS early 2024. That would be epic. I think it's the only thing they're missing. When they came to the house and did an interview, when they asked what I think the #1 thing they should work on is, I said outside of making all the firmware open source, I said it was AMS. You gotta have it. You gotta have it to compete. I gotta head out. Hey man, thank you for being here. And yeah, it's getting late. Thank you. Appreciate your time in here. 369 with Texas in Rockville, Maryland. Ah, you're Maryland. Nice. Rockville is my second one. I'm closer to the Towson one. Nice. Is the K1 just as easy to use? Yes, the K1 is a single press of a button to use. So does this one have a camera? It doesn't have a camera, but it has a slot for a camera, and they have one as an upgrade that you can purchase. They also have auxiliary fans that you can add as a purchase. So we'll see. Have a good night. I'll join the Discord. Nice. Yeah, please do. We'll see you in there. Wow, 60 watching. That's cool. How is there 60 likes on the video? Hit that like. So you think K1 at 350 is better over the KE at 270? Yes. The K1 is just an awesome machine. They did a really great job. At first, it was super rocky. In fact, you can still see some pretty negative reviews about it, unfortunately. But in my opinion, I think the fact that it's Core XY, I think the fact that it's enclosed, I think the fact that you can print PLA on it all day long with that giant auxiliary fan, and then even also it's very loud. It's so loud. It's loud. Andre, that's another thing. Super loud. Like this is, you could have 10 of these and it's probably not as loud as one K1. You got to know that. But what I'm trying to say is you can print PLA on the K1 all day, but then you might be like, hey, I want this thing in my car and I want it printed. Maybe it's a sunglass holder or some cup holder thing and you need ABS. You can print that on the K1 because it's enclosed. If you wanted to do carbon fiber polycarbonate, you can print that on the K1. You're going to have a tougher time on the KE. With that said, you can still print that stuff on the KE, but it's going to need some level of enclosure. You know, just needs Clipper. It has it. Just needs to be open sourced. This thing's really moving. It's fast. It's definitely fast. I'm out. If I win the contest, Zumi gets to roll for Toys R Tots printing. That's nice. And thank you for being in here, Tiger. Good to see you. K1 655 in Australia, with this being 469. If this is 469, that's a lot cheaper than 655. That's a lot cheaper. At that point, at that difference, you have to ask yourself, I guess, if you want to just print ABS a lot. Because if the answer is no, then you know the rest. I just told them we need fluid. Yeah, I have contact with 3 people. I tell them all the time. What is the difference with the SE and KE? They're extremely similar. The KE has a couple more high-end parts, such as running a Nebula pad screen, just like this, which means it runs Clipper, so it's a little bit faster. It has a better cooling setup with dual fans, and a better hot end from these machines from the K1 series. So that's that in a nutshell. The KE is a little bit more capable than the SE, but the SE is the ultimate beginner machine. No setup, no nothing, so inexpensive. I think it's the perfect gift. At $164 right now, I think it's an amazing gift for yourself, for your kid, for your grandkid. You know, like I said in that post I made, stop buying socks and underwear as gifts and buy your kid or grandson or granddaughter, buy your grandkid a 3D printer and get them into something they can think, you know, brainstorm about and busy with and create. $164 in the long run is cheaper than a bike, although obviously there's reasons to get a bike over this, definitely. But if you have a kid with a wandering mind, getting them a 3D printer would be pretty epic. I'm just imagining myself when I was younger, if I got a hold of a 3D printer, it'd be just insane. I wouldn't even know where I'd be right now. That's the perfect live first try. It's 15:15 in Sydney. Woo! Early. Working from home. Nice. Smash the like button, please. It's not that loud. No, this is not loud. Let me turn off my compensation on the mic so you guys can hear it. Where is it? Advanced audio properties? No. Filters. Where's filters? Filters. Noise suppression. Trash. There we go. So you guys should be hearing everything now. So this is the noise level of me being this close. No one's this close to their printer unless they're looking at the first. I mean, you know, you can hear a fan, sure, but I can turn on the K1 right now and it'll blast this thing out of the water. This sounds like a normal machine to me. It's not loud at all. You could have this in your room and it would be okay. Let me turn noise suppression back on. There we go. The K1, I have a hard time with it being in the room, especially if I'm working down here. I have a hard time with it. It's loud. By enclosure, do you mean cardboard box saturated in diesel, right? At your own risk. All new K1s have almost all the issues worked out. I agree. Extruder, PTFE placement, better mag plate under the belt, thermistor failure, all fixed. Yep. It's true. I love my two SEs. Nice. Yeah, stock Creality OS on the K1 is quite neutered. In Canada, the K1 is usually $849 Canadian, but they had it on sale for around $580 Amazon and $564 from Creality and some other sites. That's quite the sale. For the bike, right? The whole thing. Just change your name to Fluid. You think that would work? Hey man, I'm headed out. Great reminder. Hey, thanks for coming in here, man. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. Subbed with all notifications on, baby. Thanks for hopping in here, man. The kid I gave the Hornet to is going crazy. He's getting into robotics and stuff. So, see? Isn't that a good feeling? That's amazing. Good for you, Zumi. Can't hear it over my printer less than 5 feet away. A 2-year-old, 3-year-old bikes in the garage, never ridden. Yep. X Max 3 sounds like a sewing machine. So the X Max 3 and the X Plus 3 are actually quieter than the K1. If you have them both running side by side, the K1 is actually quite a bit louder. Oh, looks like we're on the roof now. Also, I haven't even looked over there, so it's gonna be cool checking that thing out in detail. We should be towards the tail end here. How many minutes are we in? It says we're 17 minutes in, so maybe it was a typo at 14 minutes. This is gonna be a 20-minute benchy, not a 14-minute. Like loud enough that my neighbors would complain in a small apartment. The K1? I don't want to say it sounds like a vacuum. Would you hear a K1 in an apartment? I could hear it behind a closed door in a room. And it's not the movement, it's the fans. The fans, because it prints so fast, the fans are insane. I don't know, Andre, that's a good question. This might be, this or the KE might be the machine for you. I'm currently in the process of hooking up a sonic pad. That's another thing, by the way, just going back real quick before my mind drifts off. If you get one of these machines, or even the SE at that $164 price point, and you do realize that you want to print ABS and you're really getting into it, new machines are coming out like hotcakes. I don't think you're going to miss out by buying one of these things now over buying the SE, learning with it, and then getting one of these things. I don't think you're going to miss out. These machines are getting cheaper, and every single company is starting to produce them in various ways. So, yeah, I really got to think about it like really hard, because it's the number one question I get asked. And unfortunately, even though I have, what, 54 machines now? 55 machines? It's getting harder and harder to answer the question of what machine should I get. It used to be really easy. Currently in the process of hooking up my sonic pad to one of my SEs to unleash Clipper. Hopefully it's as nice as the KE. It will be exactly as nice as the KE, minus the dual-sided cooling. Minus 2 or 3 minutes for heating. Maybe. I don't know if it runs the timer. Whew. We are done. Let's see how it handles this. Nice. I like how it presented it. It tucked the head away, moved the print all the way to the front. Always love that presentation. I'm going to let it cool a little bit, and we'll pop that off. It's probably a file slice for the K1 and they just put it on the USB drive. No, I don't think it can do that because the Cartesian versus Core XY. But they have, you know, it's Clipper, so they have profiles for this. Don't print PLA, just general statement. I print a lot of both. I print a ton of ABS, but I also print a ton of PLA. PLA is still king for everyday prints. The K1 is quieter than the Neptune 4S by far. Really? So I have a Neptune 4 Plus that I will be reviewing, I guess, after all of these are wrapped up. Is the next one I'll unbox and check out. But it'll be my first Elegoo machine, so I have no idea. But I know they have a bunch of auxiliary fans. Yes, the K1 is louder than my vacuum. There you go, Andre. That's what I was wondering, if it's louder than a vacuum. If you work on a data center, the K1 will be at home. That's true. That's what it sounds like. I live in a small apartment and can hear my 2 Aquilas running, but it's not annoyingly loud. But newer, faster machines are louder. I think it depends on what room they're in. Yeah, and also what they're sitting on. If they're sitting on just wood, like you didn't get a paver, for example, with foam underneath of it, it's going to transfer that sound into the thing that it's on and make it even louder, too. So you got to think about that. Loud. They're loud. I warned you. I have 2 and I can't run them together. Wow. Sounds like the K1. Ferdo, you need to get one of those decimal meters. I do. I mean, I would love to get one. I guess I could use my phone, you know. But we'll see. Which printer do you prefer for ABS? My Chitty-Tech X Plus 3 for ABS because it has a heated chamber. That machine is a little bit more manual than the K1. The K1 does everything automatically, especially Z offset. On the X Plus 3, you have full Clipper access right from the start, but you have to set the Z offset yourself for the very first time and kind of maintain it yourself. That part isn't automatic. But the fact that it has a heating element in it, I always heat it to 60, the bed to 100, the hot end to 260, and I get nearly flawless, if not actually flawless, PETG prints. ABS prints. In fact, my entire Trident machine back here, all of its parts were printed on the Chitty-Tech X Plus 3. Is the K1 Max equally loud? The K1 Max is equally as loud as the K1, yes. Will the Sonic Pad work with the Ender 3 Pro? Yes. Key for TLC. Haven't seen you in here. Dion, how you doing? Chitty. It's Chitty-Tech. I used to say Quitty, and I heard it right away. But also, they themselves in their videos and during interviews and stuff say Chitty, so it's Chitty-Tech with a Q. All right, I think it's time to check out this print, right? Pop. All right, so I can actually see some of the artifacts on here are the same as what the come on, focus. Let me turn this, by the way, so I can get some more light. And also, let's turn the camera. There we go. And let's make it a little brighter. So I can see some artifacts exactly like the K1 before you unlock both the X and Y coordinates. It also has, or input shaper rather, on both. It also has that same matte look from cooling. When filming gets too hot, it starts to, actually no, when it gets too cool, right? So it has a similar banding that the K1 also has out of the box. I would say that this is almost identical to what the K1 can do. Identical. Let's see the circles. Circles around. What about the square? Square, square. Let's see the tops. Very nice. Let's see the bottom. Can you see the letters? Perfect bottom. And then the most important part, the bow. The bow is perfect. So there is no cooling issue printing that fast on this machine, even though it does not have an auxiliary fan. Let me grab the K1 benchy because I have it. Okay, here is a K1 benchy with the same filament before its modifications. Actually, let me make sure. Okay, so yeah, the letter is gone here. That's how I'll be able to tell. So this is the K1. Let me see if you guys will be able to tell. So let me give it a second. It takes, I think, 3 seconds for this camera to... There we go. So this is the K1 before unlocking its settings. So you can see some of the waviness is very, very similar. You can see that the color change kind of to a matte is a little bit more severe on this printer, but very, very similar result. I don't even know if you would technically be able to really tell them apart, to be honest. And the K1 has auxiliary cooling and all that stuff. So we're getting pretty much peak performance out of this machine. That's pretty impressive. So I don't think you'd be able to tell. If someone handed you 2 of these machines, here's also right over here where this window goes. That's another great way to see the cooling. Come on. There we go. And it looks like there is a little bit more drip on this one. And this one is this machine. So yeah, that makes sense because there's no auxiliary cooling on it. But if someone handed me this, I don't think I would ever be able to tell a difference in the result. Can I get it even closer? Also, I can't see the chat right now. I covered it up. There we go. Now we can see the imperfections in input shaper. So that's just an input shaper issue. And also, is it an issue when you're going this fast? Just slow it down. Here we go. So this actually looks better in this super harsh light than the one from the K1. So as you can see right over here, we can see some imperfection right over there. You can see me kind of moving it. And then on this one, let's get it in the light. None of that. So you can technically speaking say that as far as an out-of-the-box benchy goes, I know that obviously doesn't say everything, that the one from the Creality CR10 SE is actually better than the box, out-of-the-box Creality K1. It is what it do. It is what it do. All right, let me catch up here. Love the X Plus 3 for ASA ABS. I agree. That's what I use when I have a go-to print in ASA or ABS. Sonic Pad works on the Ender 3 Pro. Yes. Hyperfilament. Yes. This is Hyperfilament by Creality. Drip. That sounds like a personal problem. Sorry, I missed it. How long did the benchy take? It said 17 minutes right here. Oh, 19 minutes. Sorry, 19 minutes. But that doesn't tell the full story because I think the timer was running during calibration. So if you want to say that it took 20 minutes, sure. I think the K1 also took 20 minutes. Hot ends and cooling more of a limit speed than motion system. Yes. There once a ship that to see, and the name of the ship was a Billy O.T. Thank you. Thanks, Zumi. Do you have an optimized K1 benchy? I don't think I printed a benchy in this. I think I just did like ABS and carbon fiber. I don't remember. These are all my recent benchies that I've done. But I don't think I did one back to back like that. This is definitely a K1 benchy, but the difference is this I recall is 100%. But I did this on a this is a silk filament, so it's quite different. But the reason why I know that this is a benchy on the K1 is because it always did this off coloring right here because of just the speed change. And I remember I printed like 2 or 3 of these guys back to back. So the thing with silk filament, when it tries to go fast, it bloats a little bit. It expands when it comes out of the extruder. So you can see some more banding. Also keep in mind, this is extreme lighting from the top. It doesn't actually look like this in person. It looks more like this in person, super smooth. So yeah, you can see that it has way less issue back here, especially. Let's see if while it's, oh, there it is. Yeah, like you can see that waving. But also, it's just going as fast as it can print. Like, you don't need to print that fast. You just turn it down a hair, guys, and then it prints flawless. So yeah, I can conclude only based on this single thing that this is pretty good. Another thing that I want to do is, let's do the update, and also, will it tell me what the things are? Let's see what it says. Focus. Okay, new version is found. Current version is 1.102. This is 023. Optimize system. Can I do anything here? Optimize system interface sliding sensitivity. Okay. Added the functionality of printing detailed historical information for records. Okay. I think there might be 2 firmware updates, and it's gonna have to do this one first, but we'll see. Uh, 25 minutes left to sign up for the drawing. Yes, thank you. Let's see how many people we got in here. If you guys are just now coming in, 34 entries. Okay, so still really good odds to win a spool of filament. In the chat, all the way at the top, there should be a pinned comment. It'll take you to this Gleam.io link. In Gleam, you just have to answer the question. Today's question is, do you think there's still a market for bed slingers? Why or why not? Give your honest opinion, and maybe we'll read some of these things after we pick the winner. There's 23 minutes left. You have to be present for the drawing, and you have to be in the United States to win. And you'll be able to choose a single roll of PLA plus anything that's in stock currently on the 3D Max website. Can you do a video on camp settings on the K1? I did. Keep getting purging errors and no bed adhesion. Oh. I did do a video on how I set up mine. I did it on the K1, and I haven't changed any settings since then, and I've been using the machine to print various things. So there's a video on how to route there, and if you go to the bottom where it gives you, where I did like bookmarks, you can get to the section of installing camp. Look at this cockiness over here. Hunt, when is giveaway time? Yeah, it's usually 12 at the end of the stream. I try to wrap around then. It depends on the project. Usually if I'm like really into something, I stay a little bit later after the giveaway, but probably not today since there's not much left to do here. And like I said, the point of unboxing this is so that I can do a comparison video between these and kind of explain the cons and pros of both. Can the linear rail kit be put on the on the Ender 3 V3 SE? No. No, the entire bed, the entire bottom of the machine is completely different. And honestly, it doesn't need it. These rails are already linear. Yes, it's not a rail, they're rods, but they are linear motion. And they're fine. They're fine. You can definitely send it on those things. Just make sure they're greased. Also, this was done already? Is there another one? We're on the latest version. Okay. That's odd. Hold on, let me check, because I saw a thing on the Creality website. Whoops. CR10 SE updates. 3 hours ago. Here we go. Good old Reddit. Yep, this is what I want. Read more. So which one is it? 2.3. That's the one we just got, right? Yeah, V1. Whoops. V1.1.023. Yeah, that's correct. Add stock models to the USB drive. Add regular check of the storage space. If it's less than 1 gig, an alert will pop up once a day. If less than 500 megabytes, an alert will pop up once an hour. Oh, okay. Added the ability to delete time-lapse videos. That's good because the K1 and K1 Max get full to the brim. Or got, maybe, before. Is there more? Oh, here we go. There's a full post. Let me remove these. What was this one? Here we go. Oh, nice. Okay, this is a really good post for this. Okay, Creality. I didn't expect this. Cool. Make sure the printer is connected to the internet. Okay, yep. Update via USB drive. No, it did it itself. After the update, enter settings, self-check, check input shaping and auto bed leveling and start check. Please wait for the self-check. Oh, I guess there's something improved there. It would have been nice if it maybe mentioned that at some point. Auto bed leveling. Optimization of vibration vanes is a good username for Reddit. Optimization of vibration vanes. It's so fun to say. I think my video title should be that. What else? Okay, so they did that. Ability to delete time. Is that it? Add stock 3D models in the USB drive. Oh, here we go. So here's the clip. Yeah, this little clip for retaining this cable better, which is really nice. That's cool. Step and G-code files. Okay, nice. CR10 SC extruder cowl. Okay, cool. I don't know why they added that, but I guess for people to be able to modify it, maybe to put a bigger cooling fan in there, even though according to the Benchy, the cooling's just fine. CR10 SC extruder air guide. Cool. Yeah, that's very nice that they included step files, especially not just STLs. That's nice. Optimizations. The logic of homing for less odds of layer shift from power loss recovery. Whoa, okay. Optimize the online user manual and update the FAQ QR code. Okay. Improve the display effect and text of some UI images. Improve the swipe effect of some UI pages for more responsive touch control. I thought it was already pretty good. That's nice. Optimize the compatibility with 1080p web camera. 1080p web camera. I mean, they're obviously referring to their own camera. And, you know, like I said, they have their own dedicated thing with the camera. Usually the LEDs on this thing would turn on, but they don't. But I wonder if there's something I can do. Calibration. Is there a reboot somewhere? I doubt it. Can I go to here somewhere? Maybe refresh? No. The other thing I wanted to try is if we can do, what is it? 1008? 88, I think. No, I don't think any of these are gonna work, but whatever. Still no camera here, huh? Yeah, like, it would be really nice to have the camera settings in here. Yeah, we just gotta wait for fluid. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Can a linear rail kit, oh, well, we did that one. Furter, that's a new one. Ferdo, you can get an inexpensive decibel meter for as little as $20. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know they were that cheap too. That's cool. Yes, please read the answers. I'm always curious what people say with these questions. All right, cool, I will. So I need to get camp working on my Neptune. 1111, even with fairly quick, is still slow. Yeah, 100%. 100% do camp. You know, it allows you to print small stuff on a huge Clipper-based machine very, very easily. Too bad they didn't go with a bigger bed. They still might, Michael. How you doing, by the way? Smartwatch just went off. Abnormal heart rate. So I'm excited about winning tonight. Nice. Try the camera now. No luck. Maybe a reboot would do. Let's do a hard reboot. Let's figure out how they handle that. I'm really considering the K1 over the Chitty regular, but I really want the FlashForge 5M Pro. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're all solid machines with their own pluses and minuses, depending on who you are and what you do. I think budget plays a big role, so if the K1 is super cheap, it might be the one, you know. But if you just can't get over some of the features on the other machines, I don't think you're going to go wrong, Wilmar. I don't think you're going to go wrong. Creality has stepped up a little extra lately with their build quality. I agree. I definitely agree. Does the K1 not drop the oldest time lapse when it's full? I'm not sure. I don't think mine have ever gotten full. Say it again, only in French. Is that the veins thing? Is that Winamp you're streaming through? I haven't seen Winamp since the high school 2000s. Exactly. I was also in high schools in 2000s. Yeah, so on a Mac, there is an app called Reamp, and it uses the original Winamp skins. So it just plays MP3s. I own these MP3s through one of the music things I use for videos. So every time I download anything for the videos, I just play it through here on live streams because I have rights to the music on my channel. So yeah, and you can use any old school skin. So if you had some familiar one out of the millions, whatever there used to be, you can actually go to the archive of all of the Winamp skins. You can actually use it on this Reamp player, which is cool. Alfredo, Fedora, Frodo, yep. I go by those. Camp is going on Tronxy 400s, turning into Trident. Nice, that's cool. I messaged Tronxy, I was like, hey, you guys have that 1000 by 1000 by 1000 machine. How come there's no reviews for it? Put an actual front door on there so you can walk in there. Any update work on the V3KE review? Mike, I'm doing this, I'm unboxing this machine so that I can do a video on both at the same time. I think there's a ton of confusion between these two machines, why they exist, why they're so similar on paper, and I'm gonna do them at the same time. All right, let's turn this back on and see if they have any kind of camera support. Which, you know, can't be mad at them if they don't. They have their own camera. It's pretty specific and it works really well. So it is what it do. How much time we got left on our thing here? 12 minutes left, 43 entries. I think 44 or 45 is our max. This is actually our 29th, spit everywhere. This is our 29th filament giveaway. So almost 30 spools given away through live streams, which is kind of cool. People don't have room for the 1000, 1000. Well, normal people. I don't have room for that. I don't have room. It still needs a review. I will rent room. I will rent the damn room. All right, so no LEDs on the camera, but let's see. Yeah, I don't think they give you access to camera via USB. Now, if this was rooted, it would work because we'd have access to the USBs, but it's blocked. So I think it's in my best interest, you know, just based on what I do in this community, to find a way to get this thing rooted. So I'll try. David says he's got room. Thinking about buying the orange and closing it and replacing my dining room table. Nice. The Orange Storm Jigga. Does the K1 do camera stuff too? Yeah, the K1 has a camera inside of it. This guy has a camera inside the enclosure, and it's a really good camera. High resolution. Really good one. Probably one of the best cameras on 3D printers currently. And it does the AI stuff, yeah. I need to watch a review of that. I assume you have one. Yes, several. So when they first released, the K1s were a nightmare. There were all kinds of issues. Since then, all of it has been fixed. Do you think there was any networking features added to the Ender 3 V3 SE through the Magic Box or dongle? will be, whoops, sorry, yeah, so they just released the Sonic Pad. So the Sonic Pad works now with the SE. Very soon, like a couple weeks, the Nebula Pad, which is really similar to this screen, which is this screen. This screen you'll be able to purchase for around $80, I believe, and it'll be a single-use clipper pad, essentially, that you'll be able to use with the SE. It'll work as well. So there is a ton of networking possibilities with the SE coming out already or very shortly. My girlfriend wants a gigantic printer. Well, get on it, Jeff. Chitty cameras are really good. I don't have any experience with them. Where are they? Do they have them? Also, I messaged Chitty Tech twice now in the past several weeks with no response. Maybe they didn't like the cons in my videos. Girlfriend doesn't need gigantic. She's already used to tiny. How you gonna play my boy Jeff like that? And then be right back. Jeff, you don't have to take that from her. That's funny. Kind of works with the Ender 3 SE. It has some connection type issues with the Sonic Pad. I think the Sonic Pad just in general has some connection issues. It as well can be rooted. Another Supreme stream. Thanks, Feder. I have to leave for work. Happy printing, everyone. Thank you, Jesper, for saying that's very nice of you, and thank you for being here. Much, much appreciated. Got both cameras I ordered. Oh, nice. Ouch, yeah, I agree. You made my day, bro. Have a beer on me. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't have one present, but I can still pop a little bubbly. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate that gesture. Cheers. Zumi chose violence now. Yeah, she's on something. She's on something. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just wear one of those I am a printer shirts. Yes. That's pretty good. All right, let's see. Did this thing finish? Did it do anything? Oh, right. I rebooted it instead of doing that stuff. So yeah, no USB camera. But like I said, this was a thing with the K1 as well. When we rooted the K1, we were able to get what we wanted out of it. So Zumi needs a nap right before filming giveaway. Yeah, didn't she win one but wasn't here? What are we sipping on? I can't say on stream apparently. Yeah, apparently speaking of what you're drinking can flag the demonetization bots. So I will refrain, unfortunately, because it seems silly, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I can give some closing thoughts here before the film and giveaway hits. The build quality is really high, right? It just is. This is a better build than the SE and the KE. On paper, I think they're going to be very similar. I think even the performance is going to be very similar. The KE's dual... Oh, right, I need this one. The KE's dual fans are probably better direction-wise, but this is a decent cooling fan, as you can see by the Benchy. This rail is very nice. It's also very smooth. Not quite as smooth as the dual rods on this machine. Man, that's good. That's so good. But as you guys saw by that print, that's not going to be a problem. I think this is going to be an example. I think this specific machine is going to be an example of what this style machine is capable of. I think they're pushing these things to the limits here. And I think so are people. I think people are going to mod these things with, with STLs being available. The fact that it's using K1 hot ends. I think this is a solid machine meant for long term. Everything so far that I have to say is positive. I think the only way to do cons for this machine is for me to use this thing for a few weeks. So I think that's going to be the goal for the video for both of these, for the KE and this. I'm going to use both of them for several weeks at the same time on this new robust table that doesn't wobble. And we'll go from there. But yeah, let me do this while it's on my mind. Let this thing do its thing now that it's updated. Hey, Serge. How you doing? Apple juice. Yeah, it's apple juice. You could have thrown in some code words. That's true. So my buddy Jack was added to the coffee earlier. But his last name's Cold Brew. Jack Cold Brew hung out with me in my coffee. This is just some seltzer. Yeah, just some seltzer. So no bubbly beverage after. The first initial was enough. Like what you clean your bed with. Nice. That looks like a beast for the price now. Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be people that are going to look at this machine and be like, you know what, this is just a little bit too much. And for those people that are price conscious, I don't think there's going to be a reason to go with this machine over the KE. I think the KE already running Clipper, having the same tool head, having PEI, having linear motion is going to be enough for most people. What is it, 280? I think that machine's 280. And then the people that think 280 is too much for a printer, the SE. The SE is a no-brainer, especially at 164. I think that's nuts. I think it still boggles my mind that you can get that good of a machine for $164. So yeah, I think this thing is, I think Creality's doing something. Like this is, it's finally interesting again. And it hasn't been in a while. I guess the K1's to blame. The K1 kind of pushed all this stuff. They're using all the components from them. All right, I think we are in our final countdown here for the giveaway. Let's see where we're at. 44 people. There's just seconds left, so if you guys are just joining here, there's a pinned comment at the very top. You have a little bit over a minute here to just let us know if you guys think there's still a market for bed slingers, why or why not. I'm not going to answer it until later. Let us know your honest opinion. I will read some of these after we choose a winner. And just so we can, you know, just see what everyone's thoughts are on it. And we'll go from there. But you have to be in the United States. You can win a roll of filament from 3D Max. $164 is great for a kid to learn 3D printing. That's literally what I said on my post earlier today. If you have a kid or a grandkid, the 164 bucks. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna buy a lot worse things that they're not gonna use. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Creality not backing down Bamboo. Yeah, I don't think they are. I think once AMS is figured out to some degree, I think it's going to be harder and harder to differentiate. Although Bamboo is going to continue to innovate because of their momentum. They have a major momentum going forward. And now with the A1 platform, and then, you know, plenty of promises for larger machines coming soon, Bamboo is going to be in the picture for a while. Bamboo mixed up printing world. Yes, yeah. Bamboo has a huge thanks for that, for sure. For sure. As mad as I can be with them not open sourcing anything and patenting things instead and taking from open source and not giving back in some way, you can say, and I will say, that they have single-handedly changed 3D printing in the past year, and every single company is now on their toes, actually making new things. So Bamboo, thanks for that. Hit me up if you get back on the Aquila A train, then yeah, man, I will. I still have the file that you sent me somewhere for the board, like in my files. But yeah, like I said, that thing is right over there. I can see the gold feet. I just haven't had that spark, you know, and I have a feeling with all of these new exciting machines, people have either moved on from the Aquila or are looking for ways to breathe new life into them. So I've been brainstorming new ways to do it. There's obviously the Voron route you could take with them. There's a Core XY route you could take with them, but it adds on quite a lot of expense. So that's why I haven't jumped on those things. It'd be kind of silly to take a $140 printer and then spend $300 additional on top of that, right? Like if you're budget conscious. If you just wanted the project, then that's an amazing donor printer, but that's kind of why. I gave them credit, but they need to step up their size. Yeah, they will. I don't remember his name, Dr. somebody, but he said somebody, like I'm not giving them credit. They said that they're going to do larger machines. They're expanding the A1 platform, yep. Bamboo has sorry support. I've heard both ends of the stick. I've heard people that loved everything about their support, and then people that are completely on the other end of that fence, so I'm not sure. We wanted an Orange Storm Giga from Bamboo, right. I'm hoping I'll get a free membership now that I've got 3 memberships in a row. Nice. I don't want to buy one. It is what it is. Moved on from the Aquila, the shame and the horror. I mean, I still own, what, 3? Yeah, I still own 3 Aquilas. I have them here. He talked with CNC Kitchen about a bigger machine. Yes, and the next layer as well. And both mentioned larger machines. Which one is it doing? The bed? No, so it's doing the print head. I wonder if they changed it and then ended up doing the Y-axis anyway. I mean, because there's a port on the back of this, you could very easily add a USB ADXL to this and do it. But you would need access to Clipper to be able to change what test it does. So yeah, without rooting that, there's going to be limitations to the machine. The support issue probably depends on who's on the other end. Yeah, it depends on patience as well. If you have no patience, I feel like you're pretty much almost always going to get a bad, you know, if you're sour to the rep, they're just a normal person. But it also depends. Depends how bad. Dr. Tao, there we go, that's his name. Thank you, 3D&T. Also, super cool thumbnail. I don't know what's going on in your thumbnail, but it's super cool looking. It's almost like an AI thing of a printer with fog, like a fog thing coming out of it, but it's also a cityscape. There's something crazy going on there. I like it. They moved the resources to the A1, and the larger one is coming, but they don't know the market's rapidly advancing. Yeah, right. Baltimore. Nice. So you're hyper local. Haven't we talked before? I feel like we have. Cool. I'm in Bel Air, but I've lived in Towson and Owings Mills and Pikesville, so I'm all around the area. What do you mean that's Baltimore? Oh, Mid-Journey made it. Oh, okay. Fair. I just noticed above me the competition. The competition has ended. So let's do what we do best and pull the winner. 44 entries. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna go to my other screen. Let's go to winners. I am going to draw a winner. We're gonna draw one winner. It is drawing. We have one. Are you in the United States? Yes. Let us announce winners in widget. Announce with avatar. Announce. Congratulations to JPC. So I have your email and I have your location. Now you have to just be present in the chat to claim your prize. So all you have to do is be present. So just let me know if you're here. And like I typically do with everyone else in all these drawings, we will give 5 minutes for JPC to claim. JP, is it you? I know sometimes the name doesn't match. Just to confirm, I see your last name. Give me the last 3 letters of your last name in the chat. You don't have to say the full last name, just the last 3 letters of your last name to confirm. And I'll tell you what to do you got it, man. JP, it's you, baby. Congratulations on your spool of PLA Plus from 3D Max. So here's what you got to do. Listen up. You got to go on their website and you got to choose a roll of PLA Plus that's in stock, because sometimes they go out of stock, okay? And then you have to email me that choice and your address. The email that you have to use is my first name, Fedor, F-E-D-O-R, Fedor, F-E-D-O-R, at 3dprintsos.com. F-E-D-O-R at 3dprintsos.com. Email me your choice of filament that's in stock and your address. I will forward it to them. They take about a week, sometimes 2 weeks for shipping, because they ship them in bulk. They wait until at least 2 or 3 have been collected. But either way, congratulations, good sir. Are you sure it's not Furdo? No. Don't send it to Furdo. It'll get lost. All right, so hold on. Before everyone dips out of here, let's read some answers to that question. So it always takes me a split second to find it in here. See all. Oh, cool. And it gives me a little pop-up this time. That's nice. So I can move it to this screen. Cool. All right. Let's see. Let me move it to the left here so I can still see the chat. All right. So, do you think there's still a market for bed slingers? Also, while we do this, my back's starting to hurt and I get to flex this. Sitting. Let's go to the sit mode. Stand mode. Oh, it was in sit mode. Sweet. All right, here we go. Yes, they're cheaper to make, but anyone who's been into 3D printing might not want another bed slinger. That's true. Yes, there will always be people coming into 3D printing, and not all experienced users looking to move up to higher end machines. It's true. Yes, newbies to 3D printing are going to need a starting point to learn all the components of 3D printing. So just based on those few answers, you guys think that Core XY is just more complex and not as beginner friendly? No, not with the K1 being so cheap. Yes, with new innovations in technology, they're definitely getting better and easier to use. There's still many people that like bed slingers. It's a great design and will never go away. Most beginners buy bed slingers. Yeah, that's true. Yes, lower cost. Yes, cheaper and entry level for newbies. Maybe for a budget entry level, but a bit more, you can get a Core XY. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the K1 is one of the easiest machines to use. However, like I mentioned earlier, it's still early for those machines. As they progress and get mature and get used hours and hours printing that fast, once they start breaking and wearing, they're going to be much harder to work on than something like this. So I agree with that. If you just want a cheap 3D printer, it's a good option for a print farm, but speed is not great. Well, something like this might be printing just as fast. So I mean, this is a very robust and well-built machine though. Yes, the lower cost. I hope so. I just bought an Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus and the Bamboo Lab P1S. I'm loving the Bamboo Lab. Debating on returning the Elegoo. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you have a Bamboo 1S and you're not irked by some of the things that the Bamboo does, I feel like all other machines are going to start looking a certain way. This person just said yes. Thank you for answering that. Yes, for beginners and for people that want a simple 3D printer. Other than that, it's time for the Core XY enclosed printers to become the norm. I think they might have already. Yes, if there's cheap means more people in the scene. I believe so. They're reliable and easy for noobs. Clipper with input shaping is helping them keep up with how tech is improving. Kinematics will just be a preference and not which is better. Good answer. Yes, there'll always be a place for inexpensive printer, and bed slingers can be made cheap. Yes, but they will have to be highly accurate and durable. Yeah, like this. Yes, they're far easier to understand and troubleshoot as opposed to Core XY with fixed bed or flying gantry. Entry-level stuff. I mean, flying gantry hasn't become norm at all. In fact, as far as I understand, I don't know if there's any purchasable flying gantry Core XYs. Is there? They all tend to copy the Trident because it is way simpler and easier to maintain than 4 separate belts hanging like a puppet. As cool as a fixed bed is. Sure, especially for build plates 200 millimeters or smaller, okay? Although the smaller Core XYs are super cool, aka my V0.2 here, probably one of my favorite machines. There's that weird Formbot Trugdong. Yes. Trugdong is an amazing word, just in general. Great for beginners and are still fun to watch. Not as fun to watch as Deltas. And FL Sun is about to change the game with some of these Deltas. Troodon. It is, I know. Troodong is way funnier, first of all. In fact, if I ever end up with a Troodon, I'm putting a G at that. Great for beginners. They're just okay. We did that one. As long as companies can contribute to innovate to them. Nice. That's a good answer. I like that a lot. Yes, entry-level 3D printers. Also, the footprint is smaller for their print volume. I can fit a Bambu Lab printer in my print area. I can't fit a Bambu Lab printer. You sure about that? I would say that the K1 is more compact than this machine with the same build area. This bed. Oh, it's locked around. This bed moves past itself. The screen is on the outside. The filament spool is up top. I would say that the Core XY machines of the same size are more compact. Yes, can't go wrong with a classic. Nice, good way to put that. Because they're cheaper entry point. Low cost, more accessible parts, large modding community. Yep. Great entry-level machines. Don't need an enclosure if you don't need an enclosure. Yep. I think so. You can get a decent one under $200. Get into and learn how it works. $1,500, even $700 or $500 is a lot if you don't even know if you like it. Yes, that is why I mentioned that whole thing. If you can spend the money on a printer, and you want to stay in Creality at least, get the K1. If you're more budget conscious, something like this or the KE is pretty good. And if you just want to see what it's like and grow with it, the SE is awesome. Of course, there's still a viable motion system. Yes. Yes, because one is born every minute. Probably even less than that, to be honest. Yes, they're awesome and inexpensive. Yep. They are for being bigger, for cheaper than enclosed printers. Yes. Hey, Volvo guy, see you later, man. Thank you for popping in here. Appreciate you as always. Yes, depending on the prices. Bed slingers are cheap, and even though they're better motion system, it's cool to push them to their limits. I think so, yes. Something to recommend to newcomers, especially if the price reflects the printer. Nice. Yes, they just work. True. I think bed slingers, deltas, and Core XYs. Oh, I think bed slingers, deltas, and Core XYs, I have all three and love them all. More printers equals more better. Can't argue with you there. Yes, good entry, less complicated machines. Yes, for very large printers. This one is in Spanish and I can't read it. Yes, but just because they're cheap and there's so... Actually, I can read it, hold on. Yes, just because they're so cheap and so much content out there. I think I can translate. Yep, I can translate. Okay, let's see how Translate does. I believe so, even because most 3D printers use their system and will continue to use it for a long time. The current market is still under development and new machines are coming, and I think it will still take a long time to reverse or change the way that they work because it's very comprehensive. Nice. First of all, Google Translate just killed it. Thank you for whoever wrote that answer. A couple more just left. Because, hey, it's easy to build and uses less material to make. Very true. Less parts, cheaper, faster. True. Yes, because some people actually like them. Yep, I know there's a couple of super fast machines out there. I've posted some in my Discord. Yes, good starter printers. Awesome. Those are all the replies we got. That was all 44. Thank you, everybody that entered that. That was pretty cool. Do we get to the end here? Oh, look at these bug fixes we didn't get to. That's okay. So still no open source there. It is what it is. Thanks again, Feder. It was my birthday yesterday. Hey, look at that. Happy birthday. Ender 3 V3 SE 29 tall with spool and 22 wide with wires tucked 21 deep with full bed travel. Oh, you're measuring it. I see. I thought you were making a funny. Well, I think this was a pretty good test. Obviously, just a very initial, getting to know the machine test. We've just printed a single benchy, so it is what it is. This thing is saying that this hot end is good up to 32 millimeters cubed per flow, which is pretty amazing. Make the most with Creality print. It is easy to use. I gotta give them that. It is super easy to use. Oh, here's all the stuff. So wow, okay, so you can add LiDAR to some degree. Enclosure, interesting. And the AI camera, I need this. So it is USB. So I think that they just blocked out the other cameras. I can say that if we get root access, you're not going to need this one. I'm not sure how they do the AI portion, but you will be able to get a regular camera on there if we have access to fluid. So yeah, 459, but currently 316, which is just, man, what a deal that is. If you guys are in the market for this type of machine, right now with these sales, link down in the description, also with a coupon code down there. That's hard. That's hard to pass up. That's really good. Thank you, Nerdarinos. You're welcome. Just proving your point, K1 takes up less space. Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, it does. It takes up less space. Have a good night, everyone. This was fun. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it, man. That's some nerdy stuff. That's some really, really nerdy stuff. We're on some weird edge of the internet, hanging out, talking about these consumer machines. It's just weird, but cool and fun. So yeah, glad you liked it. All right, everybody. I think that is going to be it for me. Let's go to the moon with a table. I have 3 machines on this table right now. My giant display, my laptop, drinks, camera, and this thing can go to the moon. It's amazing. I'll have a video on this table coming very soon. I'm very happy with it. Going to check on toys. Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for those little donations and for the memberships. I think that's really awesome. On your way out, please hit that like button. It actually does work and help promote these videos and more people to see them. especially right now while we all kind of battle YouTube's algorithms because they no longer want to pay the same as they did last year. But yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoy the stream. I will catch you all later. See y'all.